at any point in the game, your bet will get paid out early. Available throughout the NBA playoffs at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Kap.
A little sabor. And we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Kap is on for your Thursday afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go, Thursday, May 15th edition of the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover. Trudell's here today, too, right?
Ball knowers.
Oh, Mike Trudell. I'm sad I'm not in studio. You know, I was in studio 3 days this week, but I'm not there today to nudge Trudell. I like nudging him.
Ball knowers.
But we get ready for fun and frivolity. We've got Nuggets OKC coming up at 5:30. You'll hear the play-by-play here on 710. But until then, we're going to have fun and frivolity, Jack. You know what we do on Sedano and Kap.
I would never order oysters.
Oysters are really healthy for you.
Oh, yeah?
Sedano's a big
They
oyster
got
guy.
zinc,
Yeah.
and they help the schwanz.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Chris, how's the schwanz feeling given the oyster that you put down last night? That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, but it's good zinc. It's good for your immune system.
because I took one of the oysters, I put a little
Zinc is good for the schwanz, too. It's just like it happens to be the case.
That's it with the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover.
A Jerusalem cherry.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
You say kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha ha!
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these hard knocks guys, they're all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
I mean, look at me. I'm a hot piece of ass. I mean, look at him.
oh, Iamaliava. Because I thought it was like, I'm a leaving.
I'm on with Sedano. Sedano and Kap, your Thursday afternoon with Trudell right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah, you did great, Trudell. Great.
Well, I just meant, like, is that good? Like, can we stop?
Oh, yeah, we're fine.
Okay. It seemed like that was an extra cycle there.
Georgie, interesting, isn't it? How you and me, the last 3 days, we've been in studio together. We've been having dinners. We've been hanging out.
Just broing all
just
over town.
Broing down. And then on a day where Trudell comes in, you and me both split.
I mean, listen, I thought about staying because I was doing NBA today, and I was just like, man, we got so much stuff to do. I've got like a lot of packing to do. We have other like stuff at the house we need to take care of over the next couple of days that are like just we're running out of time to get accomplished. So I got to get a head start this evening, and since we're off at 5:30, I was like, traffic's going to be miserable. So that one out, Mike. Sorry.
No, you saved the traffic for me instead. Thanks, George.
He did say, Trudell, he did say yesterday, like, well, Trudell's coming in, so I should probably come in because I'd feel bad if I did it. And I was like, it's fine.
Nah, it's you know.
He thought about you, though. He did think about you.
It's fine. I can hear him as if it's live, so it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm 2 minutes behind in order to look at them. So that's where it's a little unfair. So Cappy can see if he says something that I think is dumb and I react to it, he's going to see that, right? Whereas if when I'm talking, he could be making all kinds of weird faces and mocking me unbeknownst to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that part's hurtful.
Well, no, but if you want to see us, you can see us.
Well, I do actually. There's something that came up this morning that involved Cappy.
Mm-hmm.
And George, I don't know if you want to. We don't have to lead the show with it. Maybe we could save it for like the C block or something. But I do want you to come back to me on this because it involves social media and Cappy and me indirectly. So I just want to get that on your radar as we enter the show here.
I want to say this. I feel like I have a strong suspicion as to what this social media situation might be.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything. I will leave it to you because what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
I'll leave it for the C block, George.
Yeah,
is that E1 or is that E2, by the way, Michael?
EN.
Oh, EN.
Because of
okay.
we got basketball.
Gotcha. So I have a strong suspicion I know where you're going with this.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad thing, by the way.
It sounds like it's a problem.
No, it's not.
Well, I think we should probably just get to it now then. Why wait?
Well,
George, why don't you adjudicate here?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to pull you guys up on the YouTube so that I can see you and see what you're looking like.
Do you need help?
Well, no, because it should just be.
You should know how to do it by now.
Yeah, no, I got it.
I'm just saying, it's a simple website you type in.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is that I pulled up.
And then you just put your name in there, and you're.
I know.
Good to
I
go.
pulled up the last time that I was in came up. Right.
Here's the problem for Mike. Mike is trying to watch on YouTube.
Yes.
But in actuality, what I think he wants to do is watch on Switcher Studios.
You want the live feed? Okay.
Right.
We'll have
Yeah.
the
Why
guys-
doesn't Graham just email him one?
We could do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll get you on the Switcher
that'd be
Studios.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So George, you want to hear about this? That I was thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm just hanging around with my wife this morning. We're just dropped
Great
off.
Annie Trudell.
Yeah, had just dropped off
Big
the
fan
boys
of
at
hers,
school.
by the way. Big fan.
And she comes over to me and she says, "Hey, I got a request on Instagram." And sometimes like if I tag her, let's say that I put something up of Riggs or whatever, and I tag Annie, then sometimes she will because she's got a private account. She will sometimes get requests then from people, and it could be a Lakers fan,
Yeah,
it could
I
be
got
somebody,
you.
so whatever.
Yeah.
And so she very rarely will ask me about one, and she brings it over. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay. Why are you asking me about that? She's like, well, it's somebody I think you know this person. And here's it's at Scott Kaplan.
Oh, no.
Well, hold on, DeAndre. Why do you say, oh, no? Because
why? Yeah, why, DeAndre?
Why do you say, oh, no?
I mean,
Why?
I didn't expect him, to go follow, your wife.
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know.
George and Annie are friends on Instagram.
Yes, we are friends on Instagram. We also
And
are
in-
friends in
and
real
in real
life
life.
as well too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Yes.
So, has Cap ever hung out with,
No,
you
Cap.
and-
So Cap. Here's the thing. Cap has never met Annie before.
Wait, other question. Do you follow Rachel on?
No.
Okay.
No.
George, do you?
I don't think I follow Rachel.
No.
Now-
and so
now let me
again,
ask
Does Rachel
you guys-
follow you, George?
I don't know.
That's a
I
good
don't think so
question.
either.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
yeah.
Why do you suppose that I would attempt?
Oh, she does. So I should. Here,
Okay.
I just followed her back.
Yeah.
Why do you suppose I attempted? And because I want to say something right now, DeAndre, your fear factor, if you will, of why would I follow Mike Trudell's wife on Instagram? I know it seems a little creepy. I understand.
I don't think it's creepy.
Okay,
I think it. But if you want to share your motivation,
Yeah.
my feeling was just that you like me, right? You've gotten closer
fan.
You've gotten
Big fan.
closer with Riggs.
You
now.
want to see more about Riggs?
Yeah, like
right?
Rigatoni.
There's a lot of.
got-
Let me tell you, there's a lot of Riggs content on that Instagram feed.
Look, it's like we got past the whole Riggs is a girl. Like now, Cappy's very supportive of Riggs' gender, which that wasn't a demeaning in any way that he thought Riggs was a girl. It's fine. We've gotten past that. We've gotten past our more recent incident. With
I don't
my
know if you've really gotten past that yet.
with
have
my
you?
father. No,
Well,
yeah, we
you
got.
said it still kind of stings. You did say that.
No. That one I was just playing up, honestly. Like Cappy texted me after. He was very sent me a very sweet message.
I was trying to still play it up.
Well, I couldn't. I don't want to do that to Cappy because now, Lindsay, I found a new thing to play up.
Okay.
With Cappy. Okay, and that's him trying to friend my wife. Now, DeAndre, had I said my wife had received a DM from Cappy,
That's
then there would have been hands thrown.
That's a totally different like emotion than
That's
creepy.
Different. Then I also would have utilized Sedano's black belt just after I got the first round. But that was no. I think he simply wants to be a closer part to the Trudell family. Maybe he wants to come visit us at the house. So I don't read anything creepy into this at all, Cappy. Now, feel free to share what your motivation was.
All right, here it goes. So last week, for those that were with us, you may recall, I stuck my foot in my mouth. And by the way, just for everybody who knows.
Second time, by the way.
Right, but George, just so you know, this was my left foot in my mouth, my good foot. Because if I would have stuck my right foot in my mouth, my right toenail on my big toe, disgusting right now.
TMI.
Just gross, man.
Yeah.
So I stuck my foot in my mouth last week when I made a very, what I would say, an innocent faux pas about Mike and his dad. R.I.P. So it turns out that Mike's wife, Annie, was texting Michael during the broadcast and saying, hey, man.
She was a little too hard on you.
Yeah,
says,
she's very pro-Cappy.
She was very pro-Cappy.
Yeah.
So then I saw
So you saw that as an open door?
Well, I saw
to my wife.
I saw an Instagram post that you had put out, and on the post you had tagged your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you see somebody that you follow and you see that they're tagging somebody, you say to yourself, who's this and do I follow them? And should I follow them? So then I saw her name on your text or on your Instagram. I said, you know what? I'll follow her. She seems to be a supporter. She seems to be a friendly, if you will.
I feel like this changes the whole dynamic of this conversation because you didn't have to like go into his like followers or following list on Instagram to find his wife. She was openly tagged on something he shared.
That's
so I feel
right.
like it makes it look a lot different.
Right. I did not go looking for her. She was tagged in Mike's Instagram message. So when I clicked on her name, I said, you know what? She seems to be a supporter of mine.
Mm-hmm.
She's clearly got my back when Mike is just being very, very mean.
Well, okay. Very, very mean is probably a little strong, George, wouldn't you say?
I didn't think you were that mean, I got to be honest with you. But then I'm not necessarily a perfect judge of that with Cappy all the time.
Right, because George can be very mean. So
I like to say matter of fact, but, you know.
Anyway, I click on Annie Trudell.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to follow Annie. But, you know, it's a private account. So I probably put in this request several days ago. And, George, as I look at Annie's profile, it still says requested. It doesn't say following.
Oh, accepted.
Oh.
So she may not accept me as a follower.
Yeah, so she has not accepted the request yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Is she
Now,
debating?
what do you
She
say-
brought it up to you.
Right. So, I mean, when she brings it up to you, Mike, I got to think that what she's saying is, should I allow him to see my life? Because it's private.
You know, I think that she's making some calculations, and what I told her is I'm gonna bring this up on the show today.
Okay.
And if you feel comfortable after hearing from Cappy, and frankly, I think you've done a good job. You know, I think you've done a good job in selling why she should accept a friend request. But, you know, that's her decision. You know, she can follow who she can accept.
Right, she's a grown-up, Cappy.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know.
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's an
Unlike Rachel, you would probably need Rachel, like, you know, permission to accept a follow request, right? Or you'd at least discuss, right, Cappy?
Is Rachel have a public or a private account?
I
Okay.
think hers is public, but, you know, a lot of times what she'll
No,
do
it's private.
Oh, it is.
Because
to you,
of you,
Mike.
Cap.
Well, similar to you, she'll get a lot of requests from people because I do the same thing. I'll tag her in a picture, and then we have a lot of listeners that know her as Rachel. Of
course.
And then all of a sudden she'll say to me, she goes, do you know who this person is? Do you know who this person is? And I'll be like, no. And she's like, why do I have 50 requests? And I'm like, because we were talking about something on the air the other day, and then I put out a picture, and I put your name on it, and now you got a lot of people who want to follow you.
George, what's your feeling on, like, you know, on whether Annie should accept or decline the request?
Yeah, I feel like Cappy's harmless.
I mean, I'm out here, Mike. I'm way out here. You know, and I'm here. I want to get to know Annie. I want to get to see more of Rigatoni. I want to see more of your life. You know, I'm just way out here, Mike. And I just, I'll tell you what, Mike. Let's do this. You ready? Let's make a deal. Okay?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll get you a Rachel follow if you get me an Annie follow.
No.
Wait, are you bartering here?
Yeah,
what is
that's
happening?
right.
No, I'm
That's
not.
right.
No. That's not how this works. If Annie's decision sits alone with Annie as to whether or not she will accept the request.
Yeah. Why does there need to be bartering? I don't even understand.
Yeah,
what is
there's
this,
no-
medieval times?
And and I would never ask you to ask your girlfriend to follow me.
No, not to follow you.
She either wants to
accept your
follow at Mike Trudell, # Lakers reporter, or not.
No, I'm not offering that she'll follow you. I'm offering that you can follow her if I can follow Annie.
Why
Well,
does he care?
I didn't request to follow. Rachel.
Well, I'm trying to make a trade here. That's all.
Oh, now you're wife swapping, Cappy. Come
I
on.
mean, I don't know Annie yet. Haven't met her in person yet. But
Don't
if
do it, Trudell.
No, Beto just texted me no.
Okay.
Now
Why?
I don't know exactly what that's without context. He just texted me no.
Really?
Yeah.
Beto.
Yeah, Cappy. I mean, it's up to Annie. She's a big girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she can make. Her
But
own
there's
decision.
a difference. When you asked about me, again, we've shared meals together as families.
George prepared drinks, for when we hung out at the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been to dinner together. We've been on the beach together. We've been to the house together. Right? Yeah.
In fact, George, we're due for a family hangout soon.
I know. Well, the boys are very busy. You know what I mean? Like the twins, especially, are very busy, and now Mateo's very busy.
Oh,
so there's a lot going on.
I got an idea though. If we
do like a practice, you want to do
come up to one of the boys' baseball games. I think Mateo will be into it because there's all these games going on. There's Hector's Tacos, which just makes
Hector's
great,
Tacos he'd be big
makes
on,
great tacos at the spot. They've got all it's a good kind of family affair, and you can kind of get away with some margaritas too in the red cups.
You can invite
Well, I was
Cappy.
gonna say we do like a joint practice. Then we invite Cappy to hit some BP and some grounders.
Wait, you guys are going to have a joint practice, so you need me to bring weed?
No, wait, time out.
No. I'm saying before we invite Cappy,
Joint practice for you hit some grounders. I said.
Oh, I thought you guys needed me to bring weed.
You're right.
No.
You're right. No, Beto's right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I've changed my mind.
Well, George floated inviting Cappy, but Cappy, I would just say the first domino that has to fall here is Annie's got to make a decision.
Okay. Well, Annie, I want to say this to you, Annie.
Annie, are you okay?
I think I'm a decent follow, and I think you would enjoy following me. I'm sure that you and your lovely family make for a great follow. And I think that we're now we're sort of related. We're like distant cousins through our relationship with the Sedano family. So I think I'm pretty harmless.
Interesting tack there.
Sedano, can you vouch for him?
I mean, he's fairly harmless, I would say.
Fairly. Right.
You're couching now.
Okay. All right. Well, this will all be considered. I don't know if she's listening live right now, but I'll tell her to go back and
listen on the
check out
podcast.
this segment.
Yeah. Good job, DeAndre. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Smooth criminal.
Cappy is a smooth criminal.
All right. Well, I didn't know that we were going to get the whole first segment out of that, guys. But
Well, we
Nice
did.
job.
Yeah.
Nice
I mean,
job
we
out
can
of you.
get first segment out of almost anything. I don't know if you realize.
We don't even plan it anymore. We
No.
literally just write shenanigans.
We call it
in the first,
shenanigans.
yeah.
It's how we warm up around here, Michael.
By the way, it is a live Nation Ticket Thursday here on 710 ESPN. You can listen for your cue to call. Be caller number 7 at 877-710 ESPN, and you can win 2 tickets to The Who live at the Hollywood Bowl on September 17th. Listen for your chance to win. You can get tickets as well at Ticketmaster.com. All right, coming up next, the Celtics showed some pride yesterday. Still alive, Cappy. You thought they would be all down because they lost their best player. Well, go New York, go New York, go. I don't know if the Knicks fans are feeling as confident anymore. We'll get into some of that on the other side. We have Michael here. We have Jamal Murray questionable for tonight's game between OKC and Denver. Lots to come here on 710 ESPN.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Are you downsizing or inheriting a home? Want to cash in on your equity? Call Sellers Advantage. They buy homes as is with no costly repairs, agents, or commissions. Get a competitive cash offer and close in days or on your timeline. Sellers Advantage has over 20 years of experience and even offers a $20,000 advance for moving expenses. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your no-obligation offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Sellers Advantage.
One of the greatest bands in rock history, The Who, present The Song Is Over, the North American Farewell Tour. See Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, The Who, Performing at the Hollywood Bowl, September 17th and 19th. Pre-sale for City Card members begins Tuesday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. The Who, for the very last time. For more, visit thewho.com.
Hey guys, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams. One thing really all ties it together, and that's enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood, carpet, and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? With a new owner, fresh renovations, and upgraded amenities, it's a whole new way to experience LA's premier table game casino. From poker, blackjack, ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Baccarat, they've got all the action for ESPN LA listeners. Brand new players who sign up for their Players Reward get $30 in match play. Just say, Cappy sent me to get $30 in match play. Park West Bicycle Casino.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR-001291. GAR-001292. GAR-001298. BSIS license number 1358.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It is Sedano and Kap your Thursday afternoon. Today is Chocolate Chip Day. And on this day in 1985, Raspberry Beret was released as a single by Prince. Sedano and Kap continues your Thursday afternoon right now.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Cappy.
Love a little Raspberry Beret.
That's right, George. Embrace your Minnesota love here. You're about to be spending some time there.
And it's not going to be cold at all. It's actually going to be like 70s and 80s when I'm there for games 3 and 4.
The Midwest is lovely in the summer.
Yeah, man. You
sure
gotta get
is.
out to Lake Minnetonka. Okay, I can see George live now, and there's Cappy in the studio.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. I'm having a little Wi-Fi issue, I think, right now. So I'm working it out.
Okay.
My Wi-Fi does. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, you're pretty blurry.
I am
very
very
ever since
blurry.
you switched services, you've been having some problems.
Oh, as long as I can get on the
what
radio.
What did you switch to, Cappy?
I didn't really switch anything. I just
Said you did.
my Wi-Fi network switched, and now I'm trying to go with a Verizon Wi-Fi router thing. So I shouldn't be doing this in the middle of the show, though. But I look so blurry and horrible.
Yeah.
I look horrible.
I don't know.
It's my fault.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Benny wants to get up here. Benny, what do you want, bro?
I'm trying to get onto my other Wi-Fi network. You know, Mike, you know the name of my Wi-Fi network?
Let me guess.
Mike, you want to take a guess at my Wi-Fi network?
Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the guess that I had. So no.
What was it? Tell me.
No, I can't say it on the air. It's not appropriate.
You want me to
just tell me. Just tell me what it is.
D's nuts.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's George's dog.
Hi, Benny.
Okay.
Hi, Benny.
Yeah, he wants to chill on my lap.
Cute little guy.
So what's up, fellas?
Well, Jack was just sleeping right behind me here.
Yeah. Benny
Jack
has
the
teeth,
Frenchie.
though.
Yeah, Benny does have teeth. Jack lost his teeth.
So, Cappy, what happened to your Knicks?
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
You said they were your Knicks. You were rooting interest for, you said, go New York, go. All like for now a week you've been saying this. And you also said you wanted to root for Golden State. # the old guys.
The old guys got hurt, and there was nothing that they were going to do. There was no way Golden State was going to win that series without Steph Curry. So that's the obvious, okay? Mm-hmm. And by the way, listen, I liked what Steve Kerr had to say last night after the game, which was we, meaning they, actually really thought we had a legitimate championship caliber team if everybody's healthy. Whether or not that's right, we'll never know. But without Steph Curry, there was no chance that Golden State was going to win that series. As for the Celtics, George, they did go home last night, and they did play inspired basketball. Now, if the Knicks go home and lose this next game, they're in huge trouble, obviously. But I'm still go New York, go in Madison Square Garden in Game 6. So how are you telling me that now you're feeling strongly that the Celtics are going to run off 3 straight wins and win this series?
I mean, I told you I wasn't writing the Celtics off even down 3-1, even with Tatum out. I gave you reasons to tell you why they can still win even without Jason Tatum.
Yeah, he did the whole plus-minus thing, you know?
Right. It's not like the Knicks are like this juggernaut. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at the Knicks as this unbeatable team.
They have Swiss cheese defense, remember, Cap?
I do remember.
Well, they certainly had Swiss cheese defense before Mitchell Robinson came back.
But I would just say this. While the New York Knicks are not the 86 Celtics, they are playing a team in Boston that is without their best player. So when you lose your best player, see Golden State, the likelihood of you winning, not high. So I'm still sticking with New York, to which I will say one more time, go New York, go New York, go.
Go New York, go New York, go. I'll tell you this, and Mike, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Me too. Me too. I would also like to hear Mike's thoughts.
I feel like Jaylen Brown is kind of like, I mean, he's never going to come out and say it, but like part of him deep down somewhere has got to be like, hey, it's my time now, man. I was the guy who was the Finals MVP and the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and I can lead a team too. They're paying me $70 million for a reason too.
There's no doubt that he feels like that, and I thought that he played great. So there's a part of that that's true. I still think that Tatum should have won Finals MVP and is better. That is irrelevant to
Not me. I voted for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I thought that was wrong. But, you know,
who'd you vote for, Mike?
I do not have a vote.
Well, he didn't vote because it has to be people that are there.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have a vote either.
Yeah. Were I to vote, and I think I probably tried to lobby Sedano to vote for the better player, which is Jason Tatum.
Right, but he wasn't the better player in that series.
Well, I thought he was. Alas, Celtics, if you just look up and down their roster and take Tatum out of it, they're still very much a contender. Like, it's still an excellent team. But I do think that New York goes home in Game 6 and, you know, gives the real knockout punch.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Then if I know anything about Knicks fans, and trust me, growing up where I grew up, it's basically the 6th borough, as Cappy can attest. Okay, So there are a lot of New Yorkers where I grew up, and they talk a lot of smack, but then what happens is they're also terrified deep down inside because they've had so much heartbreak over a quarter century that they definitely understand that. And Stephen A., I actually thought said this right this morning. If they don't win Game 6, oh boy,
hold on,
they are in deep trouble. Like
100%.
They are probably not coming out of this.
No,
if they have to go back to Boston, they're in huge trouble.
I disagree. We had the same conversation after Game 3, didn't we? When Boston came in and won Game 3.
Yeah,
and
look where they are now.
If the Knicks don't win Game 4,
you can make the case that Boston could have won all 5 of these games.
And the fans are going to be so nervous if they don't. And the fans going to shut down. And
they were. They got their doors blown off, didn't they, in Game 3?
And then this is what I'm saying. After Game 3, we had this conversation.
No, I was saying that going into Game 3. I said it's going to be the biggest game in Madison Square Garden in 25 years, and there's going to be so much excitement that it's going to turn into tension.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened.
And then what happened, though? Then they won Game 4, and they were
Well, Tatum did get hurt.
They were up
the shock
8
of that
when Tatum went hurt.
They were up with 3 minutes to go. That's not
that-
some
they-
small.
they
That's
were-
not a big number.
That game was the Celtics were about to lose.
You don't
that
know
game.
that in the day and age
The
of
Knicks
3-point
outplayed
shooting.
them.
You don't know that.
Tatum was the only player playing. Your boy Jaylen Brown barely even showed up to the arena. Okay, the Knicks were the better team. Then they go to Boston in Game 5, and that's the expected rally around the flag game. The pressure's off us. Everybody's playing. Luke Cornett's got 7 blocks, and now since they will actually miss Jason Tatum in Game 6, the Knicks will play much better, and I think the Knicks will win the series. And even if they don't, then there's still going to be a Jason Tatum-less Boston team in Game 7, and I think the Knicks could win that game if they had to. We already saw them win twice in Boston, so I just think the Knicks will win the series.
Do you know that?
The momentum will all be on Boston's side at that point.
Do you know the the pressure's on the Knicks right now? No questions
Well,
asked.
look, the last time that I was in this studio, okay, DeAndre and I were getting a lot of grief from I won't name names, from somebody when we said the Pacers were going to win that series. And we got called not ball knowers at the time.
Also,
non-ball knowers.
You could
Non-ball
take
knowers.
everything
Ball
that
knowers.
you just said about the Celtics losing their best player and apply it to that times 2.
Well,
Just saying.
I don't know if we're doing excuses at this point.
Again, to revisit the conversation we had that Cappy and Chris did on theater that one day, reading our text, there is a difference between guys who can suit up and play through injury, through being hurt, and a guy who is unavailable completely because he torn his Achilles.
Yes, for sure. But George, we can disagree on this, but I think if you had to pick, though, wouldn't you take the Knicks to win the series?
I still am not comfortable saying the Knicks are going to win the series.
He's been saying the whole time that even when they were down 3-1, he's like, I think that the Celtics, there's still a good chance they're going to come back and win.
No, but right now, if you had to pick Celtics or Knicks, who are you taking to win the series?
I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I don't know the answer to that.
Here's the hard part. Here's the hard part of this question for George. You can't like Boston when you're related to the Lakers, and he has a hatred apparently for the Knicks. Now, here's the thing.
Wait, I have a hatred for the Knicks?
Yeah, this is the way I'm interpreting it. Here's the thing.
The Knicks are a great story, but I just don't think they're the better team. I literally can make the case they should be down 0-5 right now.
Well, they're not. They're up 3-2. And
Correct.
if they were down 0-5, the series would be over because mathematically all they need
Plus
is 4.
1. Yeah,
right?
plus 1. Yeah.
Cavs in 8.
Right. Okay. But you see, George, you talk a lot about Knicks fans as if they're like this impossible group to deal with. Let me ask you something.
Knicks fans are great.
Let me ask you a question. Who's a more obnoxious fan base on every sport than Boston fans?
That's tough.
No, absolutely not. I would say that it is literally they are dead even.
Oh, no, man.
Yes, they are. I think I agree with George, at least with the NBA.
I love Cappy.
Again, you guys have not dealt with New York fans the way I dealt with them. For many years.
I have been to Madison Square Garden 17 times.
But Trudell, that's different, okay? You know, I don't think Laker
but that's
fans.
what the players. That's what the players are going to experience. The Madison Square Garden crowd. That's what I'm talking about.
But I
Not
think
like
the Madison Square Garden crowd is awesome. They are going to cheer for their team no matter what or whatever, this, that, and the other. But just like Laker fans, like the Laker fans online are not the ones who show up to Crypto.com Arena necessarily. Those guys are more diehard. They support the team pretty much at every turn. People on the internet are going to kvetch all the time.
Oh, nice word, especially after the conversation yesterday with Evan. Nice use of Yiddish, George.
Yeah. All right, we can continue this. Let's talk Prize Picks first, Cappy. Prize Picks, if you want action in the state of California, sports action, Prize Picks is the place to be. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. First $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. And Prize Picks is simple, guys. It's very simple to play. There is a statistical line for every individual player in every sport imaginable, and you go more or less on that stat line. For example, tonight, let's just say
I'll use real stuff. You ready?
Give me a Jokic stat. If you got it.
So tonight, you ready? I took Jokic tonight for more than 51.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined.
That's combined, right?
Okay.
So you can go more or less on that, and then so you go more or less on a particular stat line like that, and then you combine them with a couple of other.
Well, here, I'll give you an example.
A couple other players, and you can win cold hard cash. So give me another example.
All right, and Michael, you're going to love this. I took a soccer player today. Do you know who Lamine Yamal is?
Do I know? I mean, bro, Lamine Yamal is already the next Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. He has arrived.
So today I had him for more than 5.5 shots on goal. He scored, but he only had 5 shots. So now I also took Luke Littler, my favorite dart thrower, for more than 4 180s thrown. He threw for 5. So I'm up on Luke Littler. I'm down on Lamine Yamal, and all I need tonight is to have Jokic score more than 51.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and I will be a winner. Shout out to Ron the Caddy, who's on fire right now on Prize Picks. And, George, I just want to tell everybody that when you download the Prize Picks app and you use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, down at the bottom of the page, click the promos tab and make sure you're jumping into the Takes Two Tickets promotion. Somebody is going to win an all-expense VIP trip to the Chip. You understand?
Yeah, I got you,
Trip
Cappy. So prize
to the Ship.
Prize Picks. Run your game.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
The road to summer adventure starts at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. Drive home a new 2025 Subaru Solterra with 0% financing for 72 months. Or a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek with just 3.9% financing for 48 months. For complete details, visit OceanSubaruOC.com or come into Ocean Subaru on Euclid Street in Fullerton.
With approved credit through Subaru Motors Finance. Not all buyers or vehicles will qualify. Plus tax, tag, title, and dock fee. Zero security deposit. See dealer for complete details. Expires 5/31/2025.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Sedano and Kap your Thursday afternoon. Happy 50th birthday to Ray Lewis. I mean, he didn't do anything that night. He was just there hanging out, you know?
Like a moth to a
If you don't get that reference, don't worry about it. And on this day in 1993, the number one hit, Janet Jackson. That's the way love goes. Sedano and Kap continues your Thursday afternoon right now.
Ooh, ooh. That's the way love goes, Cappy.
It's true. That is the way love goes.
All right, Cappy.
Jams today.
Update, Cappy.
Yep. Talk to Annie.
Well, so she caught like some of the first segment because she's picking up the boys from school, right, getting in the car, etc. So she hasn't fully heard your pitch yet. I did text her a summary of it.
Okay. What'd you say? Let me hear how you represented me.
Okay. Verbatim.
Yeah, I'd like to know exactly what you said because I mean, if you didn't represent me the way I wanted to be represented, then I'm probably not going to get accepted as a follower.
So you want I see. So you want the right to kind of message things differently to my wife, who if you weren't listening earlier, Cappy requested my wife kind of randomly on Instagram.
Not randomly. Right. I follow you.
Okay,
you had a picture of her. You tagged her. I saw her name. I thought I should follow her.
Got it.
I thought she'd like the fact that I was going to follow her. Little did I know it was a private account.
I think I represented you accurately here. So I said.
Well, how did you not know it was a private account? It literally says it when you go into the person's profile.
Well, that's just it. Is when I clicked on it, I had no idea. But then I saw it said private account.
It'll tell you. Yeah, no. But when you if I go to somebody's private account right now on Instagram,
it'll say request.
Correct. Once
Yeah.
it says right.
So then I decided, okay, I'll request.
It says
he decided to put himself out there, which I appreciated, kind of. Now here's how I represented it.
I feel like you don't like this.
I said, did you listen? He made his case for why you should accept. She said on and off, and then kind of picking up the voice. I said, okay,
yeah, I got kids,
I said, you're going to have to decide if you're going to accept the request. His basic point is that he appreciated your support about my dad, LOL, and clicked on your page when I tagged you. And he'd appreciate if you accepted. And then that's the last thing that I said.
Hey, Michael, thank you.
Is that fair?
I think you did a hell of a good job.
Okay, thank you, Kat. See, look, one of my jobs is a reporter, and I felt like I was reporting accurately.
Yes.
Like, I would not want to represent you in an unfair manner.
No, hell of a good job.
Thank you.
I think you represented me well, and I think you really got what I was trying to say to Annie. And listen, I'd like to follow her. I'd like to get to know the family a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so stay tuned. I'll let you know what she says next.
All right, you got it.
All right,
George, what do you think? Just make a prediction, George. Am I going to be able to follow Mike's wife or not?
Probably. In the meantime,
that makes me feel good.
That's more of a prediction than George would make about Nixon.
Well, I honestly believe it's a toss-up. Like I know you don't believe that, but I am being honest.
It's a radio. Like you've taught me a lot about radio. You can't just say, it's a toss-up.
I don't. Well, I rarely do that. But I believe right now this is more of a toss-up than people think.
Okay.
So on the other hand, he has been if you notice the way he started the whole conversation, it was, "Hey, Cappy, how about your Knicks?" So that
they are your Knicks.
I know, but that intimates a tone, Michael, that says, I think the Celtics are about to come back and knock out your Knicks.
And then, what's the term that you guys were? Oh yeah, and then he started to glaze Jaylen Brown in a big way.
He did glaze him, like $70 million worth of glazing. Yeah,
there's a lot of glazing.
Lot of glazing.
Yeah,
but I liked your glazing.
There's some Boston embrace here.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
Let me ask it to you this way, George. Would you like to see Boston come back and knock out the Knicks?
I wouldn't like to see anything. I want to see the best story. And so right now, the best story I think would be the Celtics coming back. I wouldn't like it one way or the other, but
game 7 for sure.
You get a game 7
we all
in
want game
Boston
7.
Garden,
Mm-hmm.
and the Knicks blowing a 3-1 lead after everyone feeling like they were riding them into the NBA Finals because they were already skipping past Indiana.
Right.
It would be wild for sure.
It would be Dave Roberts Red Sox-esque when the Red Sox beat the Yankees. Now,
not that bad. Difference
is the Yankees were the big dog on the block, and the Red Sox hadn't won anything in 4,000 years. But when you're up 3-1 and the other team loses their best player, right? When the other team loses their best player, frankly, you're supposed to win.
Yeah, and I think they will in Game 6. I'm on the record for that. DeAndre,
pressure's
Lindsay, are
on.
you on the record? Who do you got? Knicks or Celtics? Game 6.
I would like to think the Knicks will win, being up 3-2. But the way Celtics look last night, especially with the ball movement and everything, looks a lot more fluid.
They look so much better. They are
look a lot better.
Shot the
Rally
ball
around
well.
the flag. Knicks were took it easy.
Just
a little
saying,
bit.
the ball movement look a lot better. They're making shots.
Expected.
Luke Cornett stepped up. I mean, especially on the defensive end.
We're not talking about Game 5 though. We're talking about Game 6.
I would like to believe the Knicks. I would like to believe the Knicks will.
All right, DeAndre's a ball knower. He's got Game 6. Lindsay?
I'm okay being on the island. I'm fine with that.
No, I like a good 3-1 underdog, so I think the Celtics are going to come
Lindsay
back.
and George.
Of course, she loves a 3-1 underdog.
Yep, doesn't happen often.
Nope.
Okay.
She says Cavs in 8.
Exactly.
Believe when.
Cavs in 9.
Halliburton.
Oh man, Tyrese was.
I mean, here you want to know how I really feel?
Yeah, I do.
Always.
The Pacers are going to the NBA Finals out of the East anyway.
Yeah, I like
But
that.
what does that have to do with the? Oh, I guess okay.
Well, I'm just saying, it doesn't matter
either.
who wins the series. I think Indiana's going to win now.
Okay.
They're definitely
win the
playing
East,
playing the
that
best basketball right now.
Yes,
overall.
sir.
Yeah.
But I think part of the reason that the Knicks haven't looked as good is because Boston is a great team. But with that said, Tatum's out, and they were going to be up 3-1 even when Tatum was in. So got to give them some respect.
George,
Boston's
I want
got
you to
that
know,
clutch gene, Cappy.
I know they do. But speaking of genes, George, I'm loving the fact that Benny the dog is sitting on your lap this entire show. Yeah. Hey, Benny. Hey, doggy. Hello, little doggy. Hello, Benny. Hello, little doggy.
Can't really lower it anymore.
No?
Yeah, I tried. Here,
Put the headphones on, Benny. Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him for a second. Hello, little doggy. Hello, Benny. Hello, little dog. Want a treat? Hello, little doggy.
Is that
for
real?
That's the way I talk to dogs. That's the way I talk to dogs.
Is that for real?
That's the way I talk to dogs.
That's how he talks to Chewy.
Hello, little doggy.
George, can you Oh, George can't hear right now because Cappy's
No,
trying to talk to
Benny's
the dog.
right. Benny's got the headphones on. Hello, Ben. I hope everybody's watching on YouTube. Hello, Benny. Hello, little doggy.
If you're not watching on YouTube, we apologize.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
George, I don't know. Could you hear how Cappy was talking to your dog right there?
I did. I could hear.
Okay, is
He
that
sounded
how,
like a Muppet.
Is that how he talks to dogs in general, or is he just doing
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No, I talk to all dogs like that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I talk to dogs like I talk to my dog as if she were a human.
You know, dogs like it when you raise your voice to talk to them like that. Like when you raise the pitch. It's like a scientific thing. They like it when you are like, oh, hey, little puppy.
I feel like that's a little disingenuous, though. Because
really? Disingenuous? Wow.
I'm just citing the research.
No, not the research, but like you could be saying the nastiest thing to a dog in that
They
higher
don't know
tone.
that. They can't understand that. They're
That's
dogs.
the disingenuous
Right, they
part.
only understand the tone. Right?
Exactly my point. That's the disingenuous part.
You could be like, you're a little bleepity bleep, doggy.
Which is why it's a little dishonest, and I don't
Hey,
like
Mike,
it.
can I follow your dog on Instagram?
Dog isn't around either, Cappy.
Bro,
Get out of
God,
here. You're kidding
Are you
me.
serious?
You are
He's
kidding
literally
me.
said this, that his dog died, and it was a Frenchie
When?
when you talked about
This was,
your
like,
dog
recently.
being a Frenchie
Yeah.
and your dog kind of like being old.
Goodness.
He's literally said this
1 year
I
ago.
can't believe
It's
it.
been like a year and a week, and I just said this last week. It's been a year
Yes, you
since
said it
my
was the
French
anniversary.
bulldog died. All right, hold on. I got to text Annie. This guy's a.
Say,
Wait a second. Wait a second.
You're not.
I have
you're
a question.
No,
I have a question to
rejected,
ask.
Rejected.
I have a question. You ready?
Hold on. This guy.
How come?
Is a
How
jerk
come
off.
when I go to look at your when I use your last name, how come was your dog's name Lila the Frenchie? Well,
Yes.
he still has an account.
Wait, do you want me to put the last message on there? Oh, sorry. Unfollow.
Sorry.
She's dead.
Yeah, she's
You
gone.
want me to
Yeah.
update that
I mean,
for
I
you?
didn't know.
You could check. I mean, you could check on
Cap,
my.
he's literally said it. He's talked to
I've
you
said it
about
to-
it because you have Frenchies.
Yes. Oh, and then my dog died a year. This is strike three, George.
I have told
can't
you
with this
guys.
guy.
I have told you
literally
guys
That's
many
it.
brought
times.
this up.
Annie may be listening, and you may.
I
You're
have told
done.
you guys
You're done
many
with the Trudell
times.
family.
Show
Rejected.
goes when
Done
the
with
show is
Riggs.
over. I forget everything that happens on the show.
Done with Riggs. Done with Annie.
Wow, I'm out on Rigatoni too, huh?
I mean, and I don't even know if he appreciates that. He's got a cool name. He doesn't need a nickname on top of his.
I
cool
like
name.
you calling a guy a nickname. I like
You know
making
what I'm
nicknames
saying?
for people.
This
Usually
is
you
terrible.
give someone a nickname to shorten it, but Cappy
George,
likes to give you a longer name.
I got
Right.
to text Morales. When is Cappy's contract? How long is Cappy's contract?
I only got another year, dude. It could be all you.
Hold on,
Could be
let me
all you,
see.
brother.
Let's
Only
text
got one
him
more
quick.
year. That's it.
Hold on.
All right.
I got to fire out some
In the
more
meantime,
texts.
while you're texting Morales, we have
Yeah.
to go to a break because we're way
Wow.
over.
Wow, did it again,
and
huh?
It's unbelievable.
yeah, Cap, you really do step in it, and this is not a bit, this
Left
is real.
foot in mouth.
Yeah.
Good foot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
put the
Lila.
bad one in
Rest
there.
in
You
peace.
deserved with the bad one
I
with
know,
the
I
nasty
put my
toe.
right
Rest
big
in peace,
toe.
Lila.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Riggs talks about
R.I.P.
her all the time. He wants
Yeah.
another dog. I miss Lila.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Let's talk Dodgers. They're missing a lot of pitchers right now, so we can talk about that on the other side. So, especially with Cappy kind of missing here in regards to the Trudell family history here recently. So we'll get to that in a moment. Stick around. 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Pick me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy. Teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
What's going on? It's Bethel Duran, and if your car is damaged in an accident, or if you just want to get it repaired, or if you just want a paint job, Leo and the crew at Active Collision are there for you. Let them know that 710 sent you, and you get 50% discount on your insurance deductible. Call them at 626-330-0100. That's 626-330-0100, or check them out on Instagram at active.collision. Leo and the crew will walk you through every single detail. Call Leo anytime. They got the tow truck ready for you. Leo is family, and he'll take care of you.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, just the 90 minutes from wherever you are. And what you need to know before Lindsay gets to it is, to no surprise, Cappy never listens.
No, I listen all the time, but what happens is I
don't retain.
Things go in and out. Right.
Yeah, you're not a retainer, Cappy. Yeah. All right, Lindsay.
He's like 2-second Tom in 50 First Dates.
Didn't get the reference, but sounds good.
You've never seen 50 First Dates?
Nope.
Okay. That's an Adam Sandler movie.
It's a great Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. One of his better
He
movies.
doesn't do that voice in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Okay.
It's in that movie. What's her name?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore has the right. Yeah. She's right. She's got amnesia, like short-term amnesia. 50. That's hence 50 First Dates, Cap.
He has to make her fall in love with him every single day.
You know who didn't have amnesia after someone disrespected his dog? John Wick.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
You remembered that.
Great point.
You remembered that.
Yeah.
You got a whole franchise out of that.
Yep.
And there's another one coming out, like a spin-off, I heard.
I refused to watch the rest of that movie because of that. I couldn't stomach it.
Well, that's why you got to watch. Because,
I couldn't because
it didn't.
It's all I kept thinking about. It makes me really sad.
They're gonna get theirs.
Makes me sad.
They're gonna get theirs.
Speaking of movies, what you need to know.
I know what you're saying.
What you need to know is that there's of course, a new documentary that may be of interest to you guys, especially Cappy, on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's The Liver King. You remember The Liver King?
Yeah. I want to see this.
So this guy, remember he was like, I think he went viral maybe like 2 years ago because he was like, oh, I'm this big strong guy and I'm ripped and I eat raw liver. And like he talked about like just eating raw animal parts and that's how he got so ripped. And then he was like selling these supplements and everything. Well, this Netflix Untold is about like his rise to like, viral fame. Mm-hmm. And then when he got kind of taken down because remember everyone found out he did steroids.
Right.
And so it was like, oh, this was all a big scam. Like he didn't really eat all the raw liver. But anyway, it was very interesting. And I think that you specifically, Cappy, would like it.
So I loved following the Liver King. And, he had the Liver Queen, which was his wife.
Yep.
And he had his 2 liver kids. And, George, do you know who the Liver King is? Did you follow him?
I remember us talking about him.
Yeah. And this guy, I'm telling you, he would just have these giant hearts and these big organs from all these animals, and he would show you how he's eating all this stuff, and it would just gross you out.
And his kids eating like 15 raw eggs a day, and they're like teenagers.
And the guy was so clearly, obviously, all steroided out of his face,
like 90s wrestler,
right?
Like
and
WWE wrestler steroids.
And I don't really know, Lindsay. Did they tell you how he made his money?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What did he do? Because before he became the Liver King, it seems like he'd made a lot of money.
Well, he started like a supplement line. And then once he started getting a little traction from that, because he made these videos, he made online videos here and there. Then he hired like a marketing agency to run his social media. And that's when everything exploded because I guess Logan Paul had him on his podcast. And that's when he completely blew up. And like his supplement industry was making all this money. And then he was getting like the paid sponsorships on social media. And it became like this whole huge world that ended up being fake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he still seems like he's got a lot of money. Lives in a pretty nice house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he was like a thief when he was younger with like GNC supplements and all this stuff, and it's a whole thing. You just watch.
My daughter told me last night that the #1 trending documentary on Netflix was about Osama bin Laden and 9/11.
Oh, I watched that one last night.
And my daughter, she's 21, so you guys can imagine she wasn't born on September 11th, 2001. She wasn't in this world. She's like blown away by what she's learning from this Osama bin Laden documentary. And she's like, I can't imagine what it must have been like. Because we had moved out of New York City April, and then September 11th happened obviously later that year. And she's like, I can't imagine what it was like. So that's the #1 trending doc on Netflix. That's one I got to take a look at.
That's pretty crazy. I was surprised at how candid, like, the government employees that were part of that whole mission to, like, hunt him down were in this documentary. Like, they were like, I told him I wanted it, his head on, George Bush said he wanted his head on a platter served to him. Like, they were very, very open. It was fascinating.
Speaking of random, well, this is not completely related, but apparently this is a trend, or it's like something on TikTok. But have you guys heard of Labubu?
No.
Labubu?
Okay, I hadn't either, but it's like a plush toy brand by some Hong Kong designer, and apparently it's all over. The kids are talking about it. My wife had mentioned this earlier, and I'm glad that you hadn't heard about it, because the way that it was raised to me was like everybody's talking about it, and it's gaining all this influence, like it kind of like like a Beanie Babies type thing. George, you remember that phase, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at Labubu right now
Are
on
they the
TikTok.
things that the girls clip on their purses?
Yeah, I
think I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, and it's
I didn't
bigger
know what
with
it's called.
girls especially, and I don't know if like maybe Rihanna put one on or something, and then they're not even necessarily new, but it's become a big trending thing
Like
lately.
someone had one on their purse at like the Met Gala or something.
Yeah, exactly, something like that, and then it's blown up, and then now there's all these people and like waiting in line and trying to get so apparently it's a big thing, but I hadn't
So
heard
these
of that.
are Labubus, LABUBU.
That's
Because
right,
I put in LABOOBOO.
Oh no, look, you got it right the first time.
Yeah.
So, Cappy, this just seems like something for somebody like you, that's a very trendy guy. Just look into that. Look into the Labubu thing.
I am looking into Labubu right now.
Yeah, just look into
I don't know. Where's it from?
Well, as I said earlier,
If you were listening,
Well, I was looking it up on TikTok, so I was multitasking.
I know how we feel every day, Trudell.
Plus, I also had to get up for a second because I had to let my dog in.
Well, hold on, Lindsay. I don't know if you and George and DeAndre know how I feel. Okay,
How do you feel?
well, has Cappy forgotten that your father or your dog died recently?
I didn't forget. I didn't know. I didn't know either.
because mine are both alive. However, Mason did.
Well, no, the dog part for sure he's mentioned multiple times because you've talked about Frenchies all the time before.
Yeah.
There's
Don't
no
remember.
doubt about that.
Okay,
The
so that one I
dad,
forgot.
maybe the dad one I could definitely see where you didn't know. Like that one, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
I had tried to move past it and try to forgive him. I tried to influence my wife in a positive way towards accepting his friend request, and then just all on his own. I didn't bring up my dog.
Yeah.
I'll just all on his own. What am I supposed to do?
Well, can I just say one thing to you? That when I put in your last name in Instagram so that I could find your wife to see if she had followed me yet.
Wait.
What?
Wait, I thought you said that you only knew who she was on Instagram because he
Well, he's
tagged
saying
her.
now to see if she's following him back.
Right.
Because you were
So-
like, I didn't search her.
Right. So then I put in the last name Trudell, and then I saw the dog Lila Trudell. And at this point, I guess I don't really have to ask you if I can follow the dog because I don't think the dog's account is private necessarily.
No, it's public, but I haven't. Yeah, I think the last time I updated it was like 8 years ago or something like.
It says,
before we
"Hi
had our
friends,
other
I love
kids."
sleep, soccer, cuddles, flopping on my back for scratches, smelling badly. My
Why
brothers."
don't you rub it in, Cap?
I'm not rubbing it in. I'm gonna. I mean, but
You're
the dog
reminding
can be
him of
followed.
all of like the emotions that he. I feel like that's a bit much, Cap.
Not rubbing it in at all. I'm just saying that I can follow the dog.
You can see the look on his face now. He's like reminiscing, and he's sad.
Why don't you get another dog, Mike?
He's not ready.
Not ready.
Well,
You want to talk about DeMarco, who just lost one of his dogs too? You want to go bring that up
Yeah,
to
you
him?
want to call him?
I didn't know that. I didn't know he
Well,
lost
now
one of his
you do,
dogs.
so don't say anything.
Okay,
Now
I'll
you
make
do.
sure.
So
I'll
remember
make sure I
that
don't
one.
say
Put that
anything.
one in your dome.
Write it
down.
Tomorrow during Super Crosstalk, why don't you ask Mace about his cat or his? Or sorry, his.
Yeah, he just
about
lost
his
a
Now
dog.
he just
About
lost
his
a
dog.
dog, and you called his dog a cat. That's like calling somebody's son a daughter. That's horrible, Mike.
So I even knew the name too, Sophie. Sophie. Now I know how you feel, Captain.
That is horrible.
No, I think maybe he was referencing when I started to tell a story about Mason. And when he made fun of me for posting my cat on Instagram, and then he didn't read the caption to know that, the reason I had posted my cat on Instagram was
because the cat had passed away.
Yeah,
Right.
she died, and Mason made fun of me for posting about it. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was because she died."
Yeah.
Point of information: when people die, or when pets die that have social media accounts, should those accounts be deleted?
No,
They should go on, even when
Yeah.
somebody's not alive.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanting to understand what the right etiquette is.
If I can remember the password for that, I guess I could go on and do 20. I could do the dates, of birth and death. If that would make it.
I don't think that's
that would help
necessary.
you, Cappy. But
How many years did the dog live, Michael?
She was 13.
Okay. See, my dog's about 10, and I'm getting worried now.
Well, he'll make
about
sure
Jack
that
DeFrenchie.
he really sticks the dagger in once you have to make that decision about Jack.
No, in fact, I'm not because I'm a more kind of conscientious guy. Sounds
You are
like the Cappy.
conscientious, very sensitive,
And I'm gonna
empathetic.
and I'm going to think about you and your dog, and I hope that you get many more years.
I
with your
appreciate
Frenchie.
that, and rest in peace to Lila.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Anyway,
what am I going to do to you next week?
I don't know what.
We thought that you
I
ran
think
out of
you've-
things to do.
Nah, I'm going to get him next week.
I don't know that there aren't really any other things that I can think of that would be as offensive.
Right, but what I'll do is I'm
find one, trust
going
me.
to find it by accident. Trust me, and then I'll say something to you, and you'll be like, "Oh, you didn't know about this," and I'll be like, "Oh man, I didn't know." My
Does this
bad.
happen more with George? I feel like the ratio that it happens with me though, relative to airtime.
Oh no, it's been like
with
a
George-
firestorm.
Yeah, why aren't there some Sedano and Cap things
Well,
going on?
because remember they knew each other way long time ago, so I feel
Right.
like a lot of
Yeah.
the stuff, they knew they kept in touch with each other even if it was from afar.
Yeah, we're going back here, Mike,
Yeah.
like 26,
You're just
27
like
years.
brand new to Cappy's world.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
So, that's interesting because George didn't mention that he knew you like that.
He was.
I've said this on the air.
No, to me, I'm saying in our privately.
I was Cappy's intern. How about that?
I don't even know that I knew that.
And
So
Mike,
maybe
you know what I
didn't make
told
that big of an
George?
Well,
impression.
he did, and you forgot it.
Yeah, I told George the other day, you know what? As far as interns go, he was a horrible intern. You know why? Because in
Wanted your job.
1999, when I was about to get married, as my intern, he should have said to me, "Hey, Cap, listen, I don't think this is a very good idea. I mean, maybe I should mind my own business, but I don't think this is a very good idea." And had he said that to me, perhaps the course of my life could have been different. Mike, maybe I'd have a boat right now rather than 4 kids.
And George did say that he remembers one day Cap was in the office with the ponytail, and then the next time he came into work, the ponytail was gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because my now ex-wife had me chop it off.
Well, I don't know that putting that on George is really the most equitable way to think about this.
I wasn't thinking about equity. I was just thinking about my life. You know what I mean? And what could have been.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, real quick, I do want to get to the Dodgers at some point, but I know we did what you need to know a moment ago. Lindsay, speaking of what you need to know, did you see this thing about the Olympics in LA and how they're planning to be car free?
No, I didn't.
It was in the LA Times. So they include air taxis as a potential option.
What's an air taxi?
Now, air taxi is like a little mini helicopter almost.
Like the bubble one that from Richard Scarry, the Busy World of Richard Scarry, like we saw at the firehouse?
No, it looks smaller than that. Yeah, and the reason I bring that up is because last week we were talking about, what was it, Waymos?
Mm-hmm, right.
Yeah,
There's a ton of Waymos. I've noticed that
They're
like the
everywhere
past
now.
week. They're literally
Yeah, but Waymos
everywhere.
are having issues right now. There's a bunch of Waymo recalls.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was crossing Figueroa
1,200
yesterday.
of them. Yeah.
Really, because I was jaywalking yesterday, crossing over Figueroa, going from LA Live back to the East Central, and this Waymo was coming at me, and I was like, maybe I should walk in front of it and see if it knows and it stops. But I
What if
chose
it hits
better.
you, though?
I know, and then I chose not to do that.
Well, apparently 1,200 of them have gotten into minor collisions. So
Oh, really?
that might have been you.
A lot less than people, though, I think.
I wonder if they hit somebody or somebody hit them.
In fact, I actually saw a commercial on like YouTube or something that was one of those like ads you have to watch through, and it was for Waymo, and they were showing how Waymo saved a guy's life because he went to cross the street before he was supposed to, but Waymo saw it and they stopped it. So you should use Waymo. That was the commercial.
Well, there's these air taxis. Let me read this real quick, and then we'll get into the Dodgers. Let's just combine at this point. LA 28, the committee charged with planning LA's third summer games, is partnering with San Jose-based aerospace company called Archer Aviation to assemble a fleet of electric air taxis designed in part to divert Olympic traffic to the sky, Archer said in a statement Thursday. Financial terms of the partnership were not disclosed. Archer's air taxis will offer 10 to 20-minute flights using a network of vertiports throughout the city, including SoFi Stadium, LAX, and other hubs from Santa Monica to Orange County. They will cater spectators and VIPs, allowing them to travel between sporting events without having to navigate LA traffic, the company said. Imagine an Olympic event taking place in Dodger Stadium and then having to get back to SoFi for a medal ceremony. He said, how are you going to get there? So the cutting-edge aircraft are part of large-scale efforts by the LA 28 organizers to put a car-free Olympics that will allow the city to better manage the games, which expects 15 million attendees.
I mean, they are really spread out.
Was this the picture of the little plane in front of the Coliseum that I saw today
Correct.
on the LA Times?
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Cappy, I think you should volunteer to kind of like check out one of the early models of these, so you can go from south, right, and then up here, and now you want to be a South Bay guy, right? You can get out west. So you sound like the perfect candidate right now to test one of these early models. Now, am I saying that because there would be a higher risk of it having an issue early? No.
Sounded like it.
That's not
Definitely
what
sounded like it.
That's not what I'm implying. Just because you've now gone after my father and my dog, but that's fine. But I do think that you'd be a good candidate for this.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm willing to volunteer right now. How about that? I'm willing to volunteer to fly in one of these little air taxis. I'm willing to take it on right now.
Sounds like we should get Tommy Lamb on this.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
Very good call, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Georgia, just as this is somewhat related, but you remember my buddy that was listening to the radio station for the first time last week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he just tuned in again, and this is the text of the group thread of the dads.
Yeah. This is bad.
And this is Martin. He goes, learning about Mike's dog who passed away last year, and of course he knows. Last week they were crushing Mike on his dad passing. Now,
oh my God!
So George, he's kind of putting you into it with
me,
even though he said
he deserves to be. He deserves to be.
As in, like,
it is us.
He doesn't know the difference between Sedano and Cappy right now. So you know what I'm saying?
How is that my fault?
Well,
I knew
it
all
is your
these
fault.
things.
The whole thing is your fault.
No, this is what I'm saying, that Cappy's negligence and just lack of paying attention and whatever it is, cruelty, you are now looped in to my friends.
Guilty by association.
So if you come up and you bring some margaritas up, to the beach to Hermosa or Redondo, and then I'm like, oh, this is my buddy George. You'd be like, oh wait, Sedano and Cap, and then they're going to kind of be like,
Well, now they're listening. So if they're listening, they'll hear that I should be absolved of this. And it's what I tell Cappy all the time when he says crazy things on the air. I say, this is going to be me that this falls back on.
That's
like the Rob Pelinka thing. Remember when Cappy got quoted in like the sports
Barrett
BSO
Sports Media.
Barrett Sports Media?
Which part?
Cappy said that Rob Pelinka listens every day between 3:45 and 4:15, and Barrett Sports Media reported it as fact.
They did a whole story about
they
Rob
aggregated
Pelinka
me.
and how
they
he
aggregated
should make
me.
a trade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now listen, I love Rob. I feel like Cappy, you would have been jealous at when I was at Game 1. Rob brought it in. When I saw him. Was very excited for the playoffs, and but I feel like you can get that close with him. He's a very friendly guy, and you have an in already, right?
Yep,
with
right.
Coach.
We have a close relationship with Coach Fisher, right?
Coach
Steve Fisher,
right?
Coach Brian Dutcher, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but anyway, Trudell. The point is that when Cappy says things, people.
And George,
and
I'll make sure to clarify to my friends, right, that this is Cappy and not you.
Okay, just one quick thing before we get to the Dodgers. Mike, could you just go back to the text that your buddy wrote to you? Just read it one more time verbatim, please.
Okay.
Weren't you listening the first time?
I was, but I want to make a point here. Go ahead.
Learning about Mike's dog who passed away last year.
Stop right there. Maybe your friend didn't know that your dog passed away last year. It kind of sounded like he's just learning for the first time, like as if now he knows.
No, He's clearly the context is like we all know about Mike's dog. Like it comes up a lot, right? The boys mention it, etc. He's saying that learning about kind of like in a sarcastic type of like, wait, doesn't this guy know this? Yeah.
No, this guy doesn't know this.
Yeah,
well,
clearly.
you did.
No, I didn't.
Did you know that the Dodgers have had 15 pitchers on the IL already this season?
Ridiculous!
How would I know such a thing?
That was gonna be the whole thing going into the season. They're gonna be healthy.
No. That's not the thing going into the season that they were going to be healthy. What was the thing going into the season was that they were going to have enough depth because everybody always gets hurt. So when you take a look at what's happened so far this year, Blake Snell, oh, man. Listen, I know that he's starting to throw a little bit right now, finally. But Blake Snell, here's what I'm going to tell you about Blake Snell. 2 years ago, it was a contract year. He won a Cy Young. Last year, he could opt out or get out of his contract with the Giants. He wound up having a no-hitter late in the season, and he couldn't get out of San Francisco fast enough and get the money that the Dodgers gave him. And now that he's got the money, Blake Snell, who, by the way, I find very likable, but now he's hurt. And they gave him a ton of money, and he has contributed 2 starts so far this season. Not good. How'd you like
Hashtag
how'd you like the dismount there, George?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I thought George was more trying to tease so we could get the Dodgers next segment, and then you
No,
just like unloaded
not at all.
No, we got time. We're already combined.
Come on,
We're
Mike, learn the clock, will you please?
You know, the tone in his voice implied that. Anyway, my point is that the Dodgers are special. The Dodgers are different. Doesn't even matter. They're still 28-15. You just got to get enough of this massive, I was going to say bullpen, but of course including the starters. You just got to get enough of them ready to go by October because there's more than enough talent to have them win the division and be right up there with the best teams in baseball, as they always are.
But why are they all
let me
hurt?
ask this question.
Every year.
And that's what I was going to get to. Is it something where, look, it's baseball now. These guys are throwing no different than basketball in a lot of ways, Mike, right? Like in baseball, these guys are playing and throwing at a much younger age, playing a lot more than maybe guys did previously at a younger age. So by the time they get here, their arms are on the clock, let's say. And I think that could be an explanation. But also, is there at least a plausible scenario where maybe it's partially on the Dodgers a little bit and their staff?
Has to
their
be.
Training staff?
It has to be.
Like, this is happening every year.
Every single year, they just eat up starting pitchers, which is why this year they could go like 9 deep with starters. And I still contend to you, and we'll find out this weekend as he gets on the mound for the first time, Clayton Kershaw is going to have a big impact on this team this year when most people thought it was just a symbolic ceremonial signing. He's going to impact this season because they're going to actually need him. And by the way, here's another one for you. Ohtani's going to pitch before long, too. Because you know why? They're actually going to need him. I mean, I don't even know who the starting pitcher is today for the Dodgers. Who's Matt Sauer?
Well,
It's kind of like a bullpen game.
this is
I guess is where they are now.
Yeah.
It's a fair and good question. And so I do have a buddy, George knows him, that has like an injury database for all professional athletes. But so I just texted him right now. So I'll see if I can get something before the show ends and like, hey, are there more injuries for the Dodgers relative to other teams? Do we think that is there anything that they do that other teams don't? So these are probably fair questions to ask.
I'm looking for a full-blown scouting report and a post-game report tomorrow from one D Cash Money. DeAndre, George, is going to the Dodger game tonight.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I am.
And, George, you know why,
Who
DeAndre?
are you going with, Beto?
No.
No, I'm not actually.
I mean,
Tell him who you're going with.
I'm going with the winners who bid on our Sedano and Cap dinner.
Oh,
Fleming's.
nice.
Yes.
So, George, the winner of our Sedano and Cap dinner is a gentleman who this past weekend showed up at our Little League game, right?
Right.
And his name is Armand. And Armand was
Shout out to
Oh, I
you.
remember, yes.
Armand was very serious about winning that dinner at Fleming's. And he ultimately won. He made a very substantial donation to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And Armand came to the Little League game this weekend. We hung out for quite a bit. We exchanged some information.
how was your play-by-play, by the way, Cappy?
Well, I didn't really do play-by-play. I was just there for the hijinks and the goofing
More
around.
Travis.
I was there to just kind of interview every mayor of Santa Fe Springs,
Got
and
it.
and there were like 12 of them, Mike.
You are
I guess
a great interviewer.
what happens is in Santa Fe Springs, caller number 7 wins mayor every year. That's kind of the way it goes. So Armand was there, and Armand said to me, he goes, hey, a lot of times I have 2 extra tickets for Dodger games because he's got 4 seats, really good seats, George. And so he hit me up with an email and said, hey, I got 2 extra seats for the game. Would you or somebody at the station like to go? I said, well, I can't go, but I know DeAndre would love to go. So DeAndre and his lady are going to be with Armand and his lady tonight. So DeAndre is going to get a sneak preview, or maybe Armand's going to get a sneak preview of our Fleming's dinner for Children's Hospital. How about that?
Oh, excellent.
I didn't realize, too, it was a tiny bobblehead night as well with this 50-50.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the decoy one, right, or no?
Oh, it's for his 50-50.
Oh, no, it's the half and
Yeah.
half, right, is what it is? Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Half and half. What are we talking about here? What are we
Because it's like half he's pitching and the other, or wait, I forget.
I thought we were putting cream in our coffee here.
It's like half of him he's got a stolen base and then the other half he's hitting, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
DeAndre, will you or your lady get the Ohtani bobblehead and immediately put it on eBay?
No, I'm not going to do that. No,
You're not going to do it. What about your lady?
She won't do it either. We're most likely going to be keeping ours,
hey,
man.
We were lucky enough to go to the. So remember, Remember we left the Ohtani game early?
The walk-off home run game?
Yeah, well,
that was
Ohtani
when Cappy
bobblehead.
wondered if Riggs was a girl.
Well, it was part of it, and I have because the whole family went, so we've got no, Riggs didn't go to that game, so we've got 4 bobbleheads, and then I gave one away to a buddy who had really asked about it. But I mean, I kind of like to have them. There is a number though. There would be a number that I would consider putting it up on.
$500.
I mean, is that what are they going for, DeAndre? Do we know?
I have no idea.
I
I'm
looked
not
it up
looking
right now.
yet.
You can get some for right now. You can get some for like $70. So
It's not worth it, man.
Nah, $70 you keep it.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, Radio Tinder. But first, let's talk about our guy, Jacob. Listen, you get into an accident, you call Jacob right away. 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Here's the deal. If you're driving around town, like I have, the other day, I saw a Jacob billboard. Big smile on my face. You know why? Because it's got Jacob's picture, and it simply says, the real deal. And you know what? That's what Jacob is. If you're injured in an accident and you need an attorney, you want an attorney who's respected. That's Jacob. That's why you call him when you get into an accident at 844-24-JACOB and tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. You want an attorney who's been helping Southern Californians since the Lakers were playing at the Forum in the 90s? That's Jacob. You want an attorney who doesn't just put his name on the advertising? You want one who's actually in the office every day, okay? Working to get you the best settlement you deserve. That's Jacob. And if you want an attorney that insurance companies respect, trust me, the insurance companies know Jacob is the real deal. So if you've been injured in any kind of accident, don't accept the first settlement offer from the insurance company. Call Jacob because he's the real deal. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit him online at calljacob.com. And if you or a loved one have been injured or lost property due to the recent wildfires, please call Jacob for a free case evaluation. And together, we will rebuild.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $299 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. Finance $37,03172. MSRP $31,935. $33.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code SRD-21.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? With a new owner, fresh renovations, and upgraded amenities, it's a whole new way to experience LA's premier table game casino. From poker, blackjack, ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Baccarat, they've got all the action for ESPN LA listeners. Brand new players who sign up for their Players Reward get $30 in match play. Just say, Cappy sent me to get $30 in match play. Park West Bicycle Casino.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR-001291. GAR-001292. GAR-001298. BSIS license number 1358.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
One of the greatest bands in rock history, The Who, present The Song Is Over, the North American Farewell Tour. See Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, The Who, performing at the Hollywood Bowl, September 17th and 19th. Pre-sale for City Card members begins Tuesday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. The Who, for the very last time. For more, visit thewho.com.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. Is it time to sell your home? Whether you're downsizing, moving, or inheriting a property, call Seller's Advantage. With decades of experience, they offer custom cash solutions and can close in days. No repairs, no agents, no hassle, just a great offer that gives you peace of mind. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com. Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Sedano and Cap. Thursday afternoon radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. Or how about a Mickey Mouse OTD? On this day in 1928, Mickey Mouse premiered in his first silent cartoon, Plain Crazy. Old Mickey. Oh boy. And since it's Mickey, let's play Fantasmic, because why not? I love the theme from Fantasmic. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. And don't forget about our new sponsor, the Crazy Hernandez Brothers. If you're in the market for new flooring, shop at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, where every day is a deal. No gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR, F-L-O-O-R, or go to hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale. Take it away, Finisa Lindsay.
I also love the Fantasmic theme. Good one.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Great theme.
All right, so radio Tinder time here, and I saw this today and thought this was very interesting for you guys. NFL owners are going to vote next week on a resolution that would allow players to participate in flag football during the 2028 Olympics. Obviously, there are some owners, GMs and coaches that are hesitant to allow their players to participate in this. Even though it's only flag football, obviously injury is a real concern. So if you were the owner of an NFL team, would you vote yes on this resolution to allow the players to play in the flag football Olympics?
So here's the thing. I would be very hesitant too. And Cappy, you may remember this, okay? Do you remember back in the day they used to do this like beach football game at the Pro Bowl in Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a running back out of Georgia named Robert Edwards, who was part of the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And he tore up his leg, basically, in one of those flag football games. Now, it was on the beach. It wasn't on grass, which is definitely more dangerous, I think, from a knee perspective. Now, Robert, he nearly had his leg amputated because of how bad the injury was. Did eventually come back to play football, which was pretty wild. Played, I believe, for the Dolphins after that, and then a couple years in the CFL. But, I mean, that to me is always kind of a long-lasting memory in my head with guys playing flag football. Again, flag football is way better now. They play either on these, field turfs or grass or whatever, and I would imagine that's how they would play in the Olympics. I would be okay with it, but, man, I would still be worried because here's the thing. Basketball players are going to play, too, in the Olympics, and they can get hurt there, too. So it's part of the deal, and if you really want to grow the sport worldwide, I'm sure Roger Goodell wants them to play in the Olympics.
Yeah, I'm also, if I were a team owner, I would not want my players playing, and here's why. Unlike basketball has been in the Olympics forever. Yeah. And the American teams have had, obviously, a lot of highs with gold medals, but there's been times where there's been lows, which is why the NBA said, hey, we have to establish world dominance. The U.S. players and the star players need to go over there and win. Flag football, this is the first time ever. Yeah. So there's not like this great history, and there's not this great yearning for Americans to go back and show the world we're the best in football. And, oh, by the way, I'm going to take a stab here. I would say that if you got the best college players, they could go win a gold medal. That's just a guess. I really am not sure, though, right? Because, I mean, who knows what the rest of the world has in terms of flag football talent?
No.
How embarrassing would it be if the NFL players didn't win gold?
Oh, my God.
Well, the point, too, Cappy, you have to remember is, teams are allowed to have, international players just like they do in the NBA. So Team USA may have whoever, however many NFL players, because you're only allowed to have one NFL player per team on each national team. So you could have guys I don't know, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who plays in the NFL that is from Brazil or wherever.
There barely are any.
Right, and they're trying to make more of that. So I guess you could, because nowadays, look at the NBA. It used to be Team USA dominated. I feel like it's getting a little bit more even now, but it's taken a long time to get there, no?
This to me isn't a close, like a 50-50 or a 60-40. This is a 99-1 issue that they absolutely should let the players play. The NFL spends millions of dollars now. Who knows? At some point, it'll be $1 billion trying to spread the game everywhere. They're having games in Brazil, and now the Vikings are going to be in Ireland and England for back-to-back games. They're going to be over there for an eighth of the season, and they're desperately trying. I worked in NFL Europe. Okay, I went over for the Cologne Centurions after I interned for the Baltimore Ravens back in 2005. That league is now defunct. Nobody else in the world plays football like this type of NFL American football. So the best possible chance, and really the only chance, I think, to have this type of talent expansion around the world, like it did in basketball, is to let the players play and celebrate it and endorse it and back it and encourage all the best guys to go. And injury mitigation, to me, injuries is the least of the concerns. The players sort of sign up for that. They're going to be doing stuff in the offseason anyway to cross-train. This is in a controlled environment. So I think this is an overwhelming yes, they should do it.
See, just one last thing, though, Mike. It is a different game. I mean, if we were talking about NFL-style 11-on-11 tackle football, that is very different than what flag football is.
All these guys grow up playing 7-on-7, though.
I understand, which is why what I'm saying is, I'll bet you this would just be a guess here. I'll bet you if you took the very, very, very best high school players in the country who are 18 years old and on their way to college, I'll bet you that those guys could go win gold in flag football in the Olympics.
Maybe the first time around, but then you get 4 years for a couple of other countries to get up to speed. But
right,
I don't disagree with that, Cappy,
necessarily. In the Olympics,
but what's the downside? And to me, the upside so far outweighs any downside for the NFL that it's a no-brainer.
Especially if you want to grow the brand, to Mike's point,
Yeah.
Clearly, they're desperately trying to grow it, which is why they're doing all this international stuff.
The international games are incredible. It used to just be go to Europe one time in London, but now they're literally all over the world.
Literally.
All
right, Funchy's got the next one.
It's a lot.
Funchy lover?
Yeah.
What's up, Funchy lover?
What up, Funchy?
I'm here.
Nice to have you, man.
Yeah, literally. Do you guys know what the dirty soda trend is?
Dirty soda?
No.
Dirty soda is combining soda with an unexpected mix-in like cream, syrups, or juices.
It's huge in Utah, for example.
Oh, I've never heard of this. Never heard of this.
Why Utah? Why do they love dirty soda?
It's a lot of. I shouldn't say all, but a lot of the Mormon population there, right? That's kind of part of it. Like there's a certain sodas that are kind of acceptable. A lot of Mormons don't drink alcohol, not all, right? So that's part of it. So you can go. There's all these like There's all these actual soda bars, basically, or like soda shops in Utah. I know that because when we go there, somebody.
Well, there's not a lot of alcohol drinking there.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like the alternative. So you can go get the soda, and so yeah, that's where I've heard of.
I like
Is it
that.
relate to this at all? Your point here?
I like how you guys call it pop.
It is pop.
But,
Yes, we do in the Midwest.
Papa John's is shaking up the soda scene with a new Cinna Dirty Soda, a bold, fizzy twist on the virus soda sensation, with the drink combining Mountain Dew, which is Trudell's favorite
That's
drink, Mountain Dew with Papa John's signature peppercini juice.
Ugh.
Ooh,
I don't know about that.
So is this something you guys would try?
Yes.
I would try it.
Sure, I'd give it a shot. Why
Nah, I'm
not?
out on that. Peppercini juice in a Mountain Dew?
like a
Nah.
spicy soda.
Nah, that sounds like I need a second pair of underpants.
You do anyway.
Funchy, I don't know if you just did this because you knew that I was
I
in here.
saw this Mountain Dew store and I saw you, and yes, I had to do it.
You got me, Funchy. I am signing up now. Will anything ever taste better than just straight Mountain Dew? Probably not. Okay, but there are a lot of ancillary good Mountain Dew flavors. People probably had Baja Blast right at the Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So there's plenty. I like the
Code Red.
I like the Code Red, which is like the cherry. So there are other good versions of it, and I will definitely try this. Cappy, I do like a little spice in my life. You not like the spice?
I understand. Oh, no, I'll take a little spice, but it just the peppercini juice in the Mountain. Well, first of all, I don't like soda that much, and Mountain Dew is like the least of my sodas.
What? Man,
I know. I know.
If strike three weren't what you're forgetting about my dog dying, despite being told several times on the air and then making me feel bad about it. Now you're going at one of my real loves.
Strike four, man.
I know. How about that?
George, you're just looking great though. Thinking about how like with Cappy just violating me day after day, and you haven't said a single thing to piss me off in
Violation.
a long time.
I know. I totally violated him.
Yeah.
Cappy, do you know what jersey I have on right now?
I can see you're wearing some kind of soccer jersey. I don't know what that is.
Okay,
I know but you do have a favorite team. I just don't know what it is.
Well, this is a national team.
Okay.
But if you had gotten it, then it would have gotten you. You would have.
I would have
clawed
lost
back
a strike.
So I was just giving you a chance to take a strike away. But
Well, I mean, it is white and purple. Do the Vikings have an affiliate of a soccer team?
No, it's blue. It's blue. It's white and blue.
Oh,
does it look purple on the?
It does
is
look
also colorblind, just so you know.
Yeah, very colorblind.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. But anyway, Funchy, that's a great. When does that start? Just so I know.
Let's see. It starts. You go to papajohns.com, and I think you can order it
right now. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll bring some in for you and me, Cappy.
All right. Is that Mbappe's jersey?
Yeah. Did somebody tell you that?
Hey,
no. I just know number 10.
Somebody in the chat probably.
No, number 10. You said last week number 10 is Mbappe. You were talking about soccer players.
Who does Mbappe play for?
France.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Now, hold on. Can somebody check? I don't.
Well,
have
you
the
only know
YouTube
that
up.
because you played him on Prize Picks, I believe.
That's
Hold
right.
on. So, DeAndre, can you jump in the YouTube chat and see if Cappy's got that from a listener?
Yeah, let me find out.
Okay.
Let me look. Let me look right now.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Dr. Clapper's going to join us in a second. But first, Cappy, tell us about your friends at Coors.
Hey, listen, you guys know right now, here it is. It's 4:48 in the afternoon, right? Look outside. Beautiful sunshine, and it's going to go on till night until almost 8 p.m. The days are getting longer. The sun is getting warmer. Our SoCal summer, I mean, it was here last weekend, but it's right around the corner. And we love to chill summertime style here in Southern California. Could be on the beach when you're seeing that icy cold Coors Light plane fly right across the beach. It could be taking your favorite hike, or maybe it's just going out and supporting your favorite teams. But the one thing that we know for sure, and we say it summer after summer, is it's all about enjoying an icy cold Coors Light with your great friends. So here's what I want you to do. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, I'm holding up an icy cold Coors Light to cheers to you. Pick up a Coors Light near you or get it delivered today. How do you do that? Visit this website, CAChooseChill.com. That's CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly and cheers.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time. Take me up and never put me down. Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? With a new owner, fresh renovations, and upgraded amenities, it's a whole new way to experience LA's premier table game casino. From poker, blackjack, ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Baccarat, they've got all the action for ESPN LA listeners. Brand new players who sign up for their Players Reward get $30 in match play. Just say, Cappy sent me to get $30 in match play. Park West Bicycle Casino.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR-001291. GEAR-001292. GEAR-001298. BSIS license number 1358.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
And it is Sedano and Kap and Trudell on your Thursday afternoon. Today is Asphalt Day. Asphalt.
How do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. No, Asphalt.
Oh my gosh.
And on this day in 2010, Usher featuring Will.i.am saying OMG. Sedano and Kap continues your Thursday afternoon right now.
Asminger?
Yeah,
Oh,
come on,
yeah.
Cappy.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Cappy.
There's so many ways to love ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many ways to love ya.
Oh my gosh, I'm so in love. Found a way
Here
to
comes
make
Cappy.
it on a
Here comes. Pop out your chair when it hits. Pop out. Wait.
Oh, my God.
Cappy,
Feeling
at
it
5
today.
o'clock, we got to talk about this story that came out about Caleb Williams that I just
Okay.
sent you guys. You got to read this. This is really good stuff. It's not just about Caleb Williams, but the juiciest part of this book that's coming out about a lot of different quarterbacks over the last 40 years is about Caleb Williams and his dad, which we knew, at least initially, trying to figure out a way to not end up in Chicago with the Bears because they've ruined so many quarterbacks.
Remember last year when his dad was like, hey, we want a piece of the team for us to go play there? We're like, oh, God. Are you serious?
But if you read this excerpt, I get why the dad would feel that way, like based on just some of the stuff you read here. But anyway, let's talk injuries with our friend Dr. Clapper. He knows the hip, not so much the hop, as he likes to say. Dr. Clapper, we have two sets of injuries to talk to you about. Let's start with the local team, the Dodgers, Roki Sasaki going on the IL. Is this about just a young man's arm that wasn't ready for Major League Baseball? Like, what do you make of this whole situation and this potential injury?
Everything goes back to the anatomy. Once you understand the anatomy, then you understand injury, and then you understand the answer to that question. So when they say the diagnosis in his shoulder is impingement, it's the same Latin root as pinch. Something's getting pinched. So if you feel your shoulder right now, feel the top, take your right hand and feel the top of the left shoulder. And if you're driving, please hold on to the wheel. But what you're feeling, where the clavicle, the collarbone, meets the end of your shoulder, that bone is called the acromion. Living under that bone is the rotator cuff, 4 muscles that initiate the movement of your arm. So when you hear that Sasaki's velocity has decreased and his control has decreased, What does that have to do with the word impingement? And here's what it is. You ready for a clapper vision?
Ready?
Here comes a clapper vision. When you get into your car, and I'm not talking about a Tesla, a regular normal car with gasoline, you put your key and you use the battery and what's known as the starter, right? That gets the pistons moving in the cylinders, and then the spark plugs fire, and then you don't need the battery anymore. The engine does its own thing. The engine, to move your arm around, are those big muscles in front, pectoralis major, the deltoid muscle on the side, and you can feel the back, the trapezius muscle. These muscles are the engine, but the starter to move your shoulder is the rotator cuff. So if there is a pinching going on below that bone of the acromion, where when you move that arm around, you're literally pinching that rotator cuff. It's not behaving properly. It's like getting poked in the eye. It gets red, it's swollen, it's inflamed. That's what impingement is, and that's why he's having this trouble.
Well, George, actually a good question, though. Like, was his arm not ready for Major League Baseball? Or didn't he come with some previous shoulder-related injury?
He had this, Cappy, last year. So you got to get the inflammation to come down, and whether you do it with rest, pills, or shots, he's such a young guy, we're not going to blame it on bone spurs, but it may be, George, you're right, it may be his anatomy.
Wow. Well, speaking of anatomy, I've been seeing these pictures of Jason Tatum laying in the hospital, and, you guys, I'm sure, have heard this story where he calls his dad, who's a coach in like Indonesia somewhere, and he's crying to his father on the phone, "Dad, why me? Why my Achilles?" And his dad says to him, "Kobe was your hero. You're going to have to do what Kobe did." So, Doc, what do you think is going to happen here? I mean, how long will it take a guy like Jason Tatum? Should we assume he misses all of next year?
Yes, and I heard Charles Barkley, who we all love to listen to, say the first phone call he has to make is not to his father, but to Kevin Durant. And that's probably, Cappy, what he did, because he went not to the Boston Celtics, but he actually went to the same surgeon from the hospital where I trained at in New York, the Hospital for Special Surgery, who's the surgeon who did Kevin Durant's surgery. So you have to look no further than exactly what happened to Kevin Durant. And as much as I, as an orthopedic surgeon, want to take credit for all the technology we have, and I can go into with Clapper Vision, how the stitches that we use are made of bulletproof material that we didn't have before, and the way we lock the stitches, all this beautiful technology we have. The reason the recovery in Kevin Durant truly was as great as it was, that he's back in 18 months, and he's really getting 35 points a game at 2 years after the surgery. The most incredible recovery from this injury is not because of the surgeon so much as the rehab. Kevin Durant was there from 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning every single day. And I think Jason Tatum is made of that same Mamba material. He wears one of Kobe's wristbands, even though he's a Celtic, and he's going to do exactly what Kevin Durant. He's going to be back, but to answer your question, I don't think next year, but maybe he'll be back beginning of the year after.
Just kind of a random question here, but Doc, what do you think Cappy Vision would be like? Like, I get we have Clapper Vision, but like, do you have a patent on this? And do you have any suggestions?
Good question, Michael. I don't know. Let's hear it.
The Cappy Vision is those old comic books where you can buy those special glasses that let you see through people's clothes at their anatomy underneath their clothes. And I think that would be Cappy Vision.
Oh, I like that. I think that is pretty good. That's the way to think on your feet there, Doc.
Dr. Clapper, you're the man. We love you, brother. Thank you for joining us as you do every week.
We love you back. I love you back. And God bless you guys. Keep up the good work. It's such a joy to be with you.
Take care. There he is.
Good question, Mike Trudell. You put Doc on the spot there, pal.
Well, Doc came through, and look, and I'm not scared to go a little deeper on what Cappy Vision could look like.
Oh yeah, we could discuss. All right, lots to discuss here. Still some NBA basketball playoffs going on. What the hell's going to happen with the Warriors moving forward? We got a game tonight. There's this Caleb Williams story out. We got all this stuff to get to. Stick around, but first, let me tell you about the crazy Hernandez brothers. Cappy, well, not you anymore. Rachel is dealing with the crazy Hernandez brothers. Los Hernandez Locos, Cappy. You got all sorts of samples for your new crib. Yeah, he does.
I just had to, completely excuse myself from the conversation and had to put together a three-way chat between Steven Hernandez and Rachel directly. And, George, I like to be the middleman, but in this case, I had to step out.
Yeah, because she's going to rule the roost anyway,
Right.
so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So if you need flooring for your new home, a rental, or even an ADU, you got to call the crazy Hernandez brothers. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring. Call them at 866-62-FLOOR. That's 866-62-FLOOR. You can go to the web as well, hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. Because you know what, man? You know what drives me nuts is these big box national retail stores that pretend to give you a deal by marking up the price just to mark it down. Come on. You think we're idiots? Well, at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, legitimately family run, okay? The crazy Hernandez brothers, as I've mentioned. You got Papi Hernandez, started the whole thing in the 70s. Moms around. You got the uncles, the aunts, the cousins, the nephews, the nieces. You name it, man. You get that authentic old school TLC and actual wholesale pricing year-round. No bogus sales, no gimmicks. No gimmicks, just the best price from the start. And that's why I say it, and I mean it. No sale beats wholesale. So call them at 866-62-FLOOR, 866-62-FLOOR. Whether you need hardwood, laminate, tile, vinyl, carpet, you name it, they got it. They got over 5 million square feet of in-stock inventory. 2 locations, one in Santa Ana, one in Commerce. Both places are like the size of 5 football fields. So when you go there and you want to see all that stuff I just mentioned, right, you could see it, you could touch it, you could take it home with you on the same day. And that's huge, especially when you're trying to finish a project fast. So check this out. If you refer a friend, both of you get 10% off your next flooring purchase. It's why first responders, designers, contractors, and builders all shop here because they know the crazy Hernandez brothers are always going to take care of you. And if you find a better price, which I doubt, but if you do, Hernandez will match it, no questions asked. So head down to Hernandez Wholesale Flooring in Santa Ana or Commerce. Call them at 866-62-FLOOR. That's 866-62-FLOOR. No games, no gimmicks, just the best price in town year-round because no sale beats wholesale, homeboy. Check it out on the web, hernandezwholesaleflooring.net, hernandezwholesaleflooring.net, or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
Thinking about selling your home? Seller's Advantage makes it easy. No agents, commissions, open houses, or costly repairs. They'll give you a fair cash offer with no surprises. One seller said, and I quote, "Seller's Advantage was faster, easier, and more rewarding than listing my house. The offer matched my expectations, and the process was stress-free." Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California.
It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap.
and it's time for 30 minutes nonstop. Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN 710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of nonstop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Beep-ba-da-bop. Do-da-da-da. Boom-ba-da-bop. Beep-ba-da-bop. All right, Cappy. We got a little more than 25 minutes before we got to turn it over to ESPN Radio for tonight's game.
Mm-hmm. Nice job, Mike.
You know, it lost a little at the end there. Thanks, though. I did find out a little bit more about the Dodgers injury situation. George.
Tell us.
Oh, yeah, go right ahead. Tell us.
Well, okay, so now I'm not reporting here, okay, but from just doing a little asking around. So the first thing is the Dodgers are kind of well known to have a really good training staff, and good doctors. So it's not like they're doing the wrong things. In fact, generally they're known to be pretty good at making decisions. What it sounds like to me is that the Dodgers, for a couple of reasons, A, financially, and then B, because of their farm system, they have the ability to take chances on guys that that may be a little bit more risky from an arm standpoint. About a guy that obviously Blake Snell is an example, right? Walker Buehler is another example, and sometimes it works out great. In this case, last year Buehler gets back for the postseason and ends up helping the Dodgers win the World Series. Other times it doesn't work out, but because the resources they have and they're smart, they basically are able to throw out more irons into the fire, and they can afford to have some things not work out, basically, from a pitching standpoint.
I must tell you, Mike, no, not at all. That did nothing for me, meaning that the question was, you were going to ask your guy about Dodger injuries, and is there something that they're doing, or is there a reason? And you said he has a database of like all the injuries, right? So I'm being serious. Like I'm a little confused. Like I understand the notion of they can take chances, but like Walker Buehler was with them for a long time. Now they took the chance in bringing him back. Remember the year before they thought he might actually pitch in the postseason. That didn't happen. And you're right, because there was a time last year during the World Series season where people were like, you can never start him again because he was that bad at one point. But then not only did he come back and do well as a starter, but you remember he came out of the bullpen to finish things off. So I'm a little confused by what the database guy is trying to say about how every year starting pitchers seem to get hurt on this team.
Okay, well, I thought I just explained that. George, did you get it, or were you confused as Cappy was as well?
Why don't you just give it to us one more time, just if you can?
Well,
answer no.
Okay, so it's not just so the. It's
no,
not,
I got it. I mean, it's just they take more chances on guys, which means they're risking, they go into it knowing that guys have injury risk. These particular guys.
So how do you explain Kershaw?
Well, I mean, Kershaw's been with them from day one, so that's but they've done the proper things. They've like when he's had injuries, they have a really good staff. So that was the first question: was like, is it something with the staff? No, it's not something with the medical staff. At least from what I've been told, not just by one person. Just I've been digging around a little bit, and it's not they don't do things wrong and sort of hey, are you okay? Yeah, just go out there and test it out. Let's just see what happens. No, but when they are building their roster, they can take it's a little bit more of a high risk, high reward variance that they can do because they're the Dodgers and because they have the resources and the farm system and the money.
Yeah, I mean, like I look at a guy like Dustin May. I mean, he's had 2 Tommy John surgeries in the last 4 years with the team. So, I don't know. I'm not suggesting to you that their training staff is doing something wrong. There just seems to be this coincidence every single year where starting pitchers keep getting hurt like this.
So the other thing I would point out, though, is that since you follow the Dodgers more on a daily basis, I know the Padres as well, like you're more likely to know about all of the injuries to their staff. It's not like other teams don't have injury problems, too, with their arms. But the Dodgers.
Oh
do
no, for
have,
sure,
yeah.
it is a widespread issue. There's no doubt.
But this, from what I've seen, the Dodgers do have more than most teams. But that reason behind that is because they take a little bit more risk. And Cappy, you just mentioned Dustin May. So let's say a team like the Minnesota Twins, right, where I grew up. The Twins, if they have a pitcher like that's gotten injured a couple times, maybe they're more reluctant, even if he's a potential stud. Maybe they're a little more reluctant to give him that next deal. Because he's got the high-end talent, because they're like, we just can't even get through a regular season if we don't have more younger and healthier arms. So they may not take that. They may take that bet, and they turn that money into several players. And the Dodgers can do it because even if somebody's out for a while, they just pick guys out of their system, and
they could take the risk on guys who've got an injury history. That's it.
And their bats are so damn good and so consistent that they're for them it's more like, all right, do we have enough arms lined up for the postseason run? Which George and I was starting to come on this show in the fall. That was the main question heading into October. Was like, wait, well, who's going to be there for sure after their number 1 and 2 pitchers? And they figured it out, didn't they?
But just think about this. Like Tyler Glasnow is relatively new, and this will back up what you're saying, which now is making a hair more sense to me. They can take a risk on a guy like Glasnow because they do have the resources. And a guy like Glasnow, who last year, Mike, pitched more innings than he'd ever pitched at any point in his career and was nowhere to be found for the last, call it, as by best recollection, the last month and certainly the postseason. So he wasn't around. Kershaw, we know, has, Ohtani came in. He had already had Tommy John.
Yeah.
Sasaki, maybe they did take a risk on Sasaki. Maybe they were like, hey, look, we can afford to take that risk. And by the way, it wasn't very expensive.
Cappy, also all the deferred payment stuff.
Well,
that allows them to take some more risk too.
The deferred payment stuff, let me just make a comment on that real quick. Today, Forbes came out with their list of the highest paid athletes in the world. Did you guys anybody see this at all?
I did not see it, no.
Okay. So you guys have a guess as to who is the highest paid athlete on the planet? This is combined money. This is on field and off field.
I would imagine a soccer player.
Right. Michael, this is right up your alley.
Yeah.
Not Messi.
No,
Ronaldo?
Mbappe.
Ronaldo.
Okay, still Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, $225 million off the field, $50 million.
Because the Saudi Arabia thing. Yeah.
$250 on the field, $50 off the field. So the next guy, by the way, was a surprise to me. NBA player. You guys want to take a guess?
LeBron.
Not LeBron.
Steph. Yeah.
$56 million on the court, $100 million off the court. But let me get to the reason I brought this up. Because Ohtani, who you may know better as Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani is on this list, but Ohtani is number 9 of the 10 highest paid athletes on the planet. Behind LeBron James, behind Juan Soto, behind a soccer player who I don't know who this guy is, Mike, Karim Benzema.
Yeah, Karim Benzema. Yeah,
okay.
Another guy that took the oil money, but yeah.
Okay.
Can't blame him.
Ohtani, you ready for this? Ohtani made last year $102.5 million. $2.5 million on the field, $100 million off the field. So, Mike, your point about deferred money gives them a higher risk tolerance because they're not paying it right now.
We used to talk about, George, the Bobby Bonilla checks, right? Or I guess we still do because they still. Can you imagine my boy Shohei's checks in like 30 years?
Oh my God,
those things are coming
crazy. Yeah.
Cappy, how much money is he? He's like 75. There's a $30 million check from the Dodgers this year.
By that time, who knows where he'll be living? And I know there was a lot of question marks when they first deferred all this money. Like, wait a second. So let's just say hypothetically he leaves L.A. and he goes back to Japan and he's going to live happily ever after in his home country. How does the tax work? Because
I don't know.
Me neither. I don't know that anybody does.
Yeah. I don't know. But here's the thing, Cappy. If I told you how it worked and then I came in to do tomorrow's show, you would have forgotten.
I will have no idea. I will have to ask you all over again.
What's the point?
Yeah, because in and out, right.
Yeah.
Forget 6 o'clock and today's 5:30. We'll forget everything that happened today. Tomorrow I'll ask you about your dog. Sorry, man.
You know what? Can I at least do this for me?
Yeah.
After you've offended me, my wife certainly, who the only person that would love Lila as much as I did, loved. That's past tense, Cappy.
Thank you.
Would you bring your dog into your arms just so that I could, get a little glimpse?
Yeah, I will get him. I'll find him.
I'd like to see him.
I'll get him.
I'd like to see him, even without the teeth.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
Somewhere gumming. Yeah.
George, back to you.
Oh, thank you.
George, think of
hey,
something.
let's talk about tonight's game a little bit, Mike. OKC. So Jamal Murray is going to play, which I mean is not
surprised.
Surprise. I mean,
of course.
Yeah, I figured he'd play. I'll give this Denver team a lot of credit, and you know, Rudy Tomjanovich once had that famous saying, right? You can never underestimate the heart of a champion, right? They are a championship group, particularly those four guys, right? And you know, look, say what you want about Russell Westbrook. I know he's had some rough go here recently, but he's played very well for them in his role this season, including in the playoffs up until recently. Like, I think that no matter what happens to Denver here, I mean, they clearly are undermanned. I have been as impressed with them as anything.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Porter Jr. can't lift his arms above his head and is playing in these games. Like, he's got all this padding on his left shoulder.
He's trying. He's struggling, though, man.
I know, but it's just like they have no other choice, though. Like, what are they supposed to do? Put Peyton Watson out there for 35 minutes?
That's
they don't really have a choice.
That's the whole problem, right? That's why everybody got fired. You know, that's
right.
Like they have nobody they can go to. I share, George, your admiration for sort of the heart of the champion and like specifically Jokic. Jokic, he almost won that game by himself.
Yeah, literally by himself.
44 points on 17 of 25 from the field. Okay, he hit 5 threes.
How about that wild
boards,
three he hit late?
Oh, Cappy.
It was insane.
It went back.
The Sombor Shuffle,
George,
Cappy, is what I told you the other day.
George may have been sitting next to me when he hit that one over AD. I think it was in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, and we just looked at each other like, what? Like, what?
I know.
AD even was so incredible, and OKC still managed to win. So the way that I feel about this one, I've been to a lot of these types of series where you're trading haymakers, but one team to me is clearly better, even if they don't have the experience, and that's OKC. And typically, they close out in Game 6, even if it's on the road. So I thought OKC in 6 was the pick before the series started, and I get it. Denver's been great, but I thought that they kind of – that Game 5, George, they knew they had to win that one if they were really going to win the series. And I think more often than not, the team that's better then closes out in Game 6 because the other team is kind of doesn't have that same full level of belief. So I'm picking OKC tonight.
Yeah. So I like OKC tonight, too. But
I'm going to take Denver, guys. Sorry. I'm going to take Denver tonight. I will say this about Denver, and it really upset me the other day. And I say upset me. It's not like it ruined the rest of my day.
Did it upset you like the way that you've been upsetting me?
No, I think less. I think less so.
Okay.
I think I've upset you a lot more than what I'm about to tell you. You know what kind of pissed me off the other night? Is
what
Denver,
kind of pissed you off, Cappy?
Denver loses the game, right?
Yeah.
And they go into the locker room, and they put a microphone in front of Aaron Gordon. And I have really, really grown to love this guy as a player in this postseason. You know, he's had a couple of monster finishes.
He's been awesome.
He's been great.
No doubt.
And so they put a mic in front of him the other day, and they say, hey, what'd you think, man? How about that game? You know, crazy game. And he goes, you know what? I don't want to talk about the game. I want to talk about Ramona's article. And, listen, if you're going to be a ball player and you're going to get upset because a reporter says unnamed sources, listen,
do me a favor.
Yeah.
I actually didn't read the article.
Okay, here it goes.
Do you have like a 20-second
So, look,
summary
it's a
of
very
it?
flattering story about Russell Westbrook and his evolution into a role player.
Right.
But in the story, she talks about how there was an alleged conflict between Gordon and Westbrook after one of the games during this series, and she tried to approach the players, and one unnamed player said to Ramona about the conflict, Russ is so immature. And she wrote that in the story.
Right.
And everyone has turned what was a very positive story into it's just been parsed to that one sentence.
And there was a little bit more than just the immaturity. It was also another unnamed player saying that he kind of takes the air out of the locker room. He kills the vibe kind of a thing. So here's the thing. Aaron Gordon, I really liked the player. I really hated the post-game commentary because if you're going to listen, as a reader, I don't like to read unnamed sources say this. It bothers me as a reader, but I understand the reporter's job. Okay, fine. If you're a player and you're upset at the reporter, here's my suggestion. Why don't you look around your locker room and go, who's the big mouth around here? Because it would occur to me that chances are Ramona was around and they may have seen her and they may have seen her talking to certain players. So rather than being angry at the reporter for actually reporting this, Why not be angry at your teammate who actually said this to the reporter and then didn't have the guts to put his name on it? That all being said, I'm taking Denver tonight.
Okay. It was a long way to go for that, but okay.
Well, I just had to get that off my chest.
I thought we did it when Ramona was on the
other. No, because what happened was Ramona was on, but then Ramona was on, and then the game happened later. Remember? Today's Thursday, she was on Tuesday, and then the game was played that night, if I'm getting my chronology right. So the point was she was in Oklahoma City, and the article came out, and then they played the game that night, and Denver lost the game. And as you guys point out, Jokic almost won it by himself. They go into the locker room afterwards, and Gordon says, I don't want to talk about the game. All I want to talk about is Ramona's article. Weak.
Okay.
Weak sauce.
So let me ask you this. So you like Denver, right?
I am pulling for Denver tonight, yes.
I mean, look, I think, to Mike's point, I think OKC just kind of puts this thing away. The one thing we've seen from OKC, and obviously I've been trying to tell people all season long, OKC's for real, is that we've seen them learn on the fly in a way that is pretty jarring. You know, they didn't play a lot of clutch games. They played the least amount by a decent amount. They lost the first 2 clutch games in this series. They've won the last 2. Like I feel like they are slowly but surely turning a corner. And what I like about them, and I take this approach here as well, Cappy, on the show, is that their coach, Mark Daignault, likes to say, no matter what the result is the night before, you got to win the days in between. And the way to do that is to bring your mental state back to neutral. And that's what I do with you, Cappy. And I feel like, Mike, you should do the same, especially after what's transpired here over the last several shows. About,
I agree.
Cappy not
Put
listening.
it in neutral. Hit the clutch. Let's imagine that you're driving a stick. Put it in neutral. Hit the clutch.
Here's
and then you'll put it back into gear next time
George,
we do the show.
Here's what I've learned about Cappy. And, you've known him for a long time. I didn't realize that you were a former intern and all that. But, when something happens on the air, I've noticed that Cappy tends to follow up with me after. And so what it shows is that while...
What do you mean, like follows up via text, you're saying?
Yeah, via text, yeah. So it shows a couple things about Cappy. One, he cares. Now, is he caring about me versus sort of how I perceive him and therefore how I will speak to him on the air? I don't know for sure, but I think it's more that he's just generally a caring guy. So at the same time, he's leaning in to being able to get away with just kind of saying whatever goes off the top of his head. And like he says, he puts his foot in his mouth. But he does put the effort in to try and repair, in this case, the unrepairable. But he does try. He does make that effort, and to me, that goes a long way. So,
see, Georgie, I mean, listen, in the end, I'm actually a sweetheart of a guy.
You're a mensch.
A mensch, if you will. When I
do like you. I will say I do like you. I'm still George's side piece though, but I do like you.
But when well, hey, listen, that's okay. Because, Mike, you know how George always promotes you as everybody's favorite sideline reporter? Mm-hmm. And I keep telling everybody, not my favorite sideline reporter. George, let me tell you something right now. Last week, after your report during the Oklahoma City-Denver game, I believe it was Friday night, when you talked exactly about what you just mentioned, about winning the days in between the games, that actually catapulted you to number 2 on my sideline reporter list. Okay? It now goes, based on that report last week, it goes Taylor Rooks, 1.
You had Lisa Salters one last time that you
correct.
No, Taylor. Well, he's now met Taylor.
Right.
She was part of the Cappy Lappy, I believe, for a second.
Right.
Yeah.
So Taylor went to 1. George catapulted Mike right up to number 2 after
Lisa
that
Salters.
whole report. Yes, past Lisa Salters.
Okay.
After the report about winning the days in between the games.
What about Tracy Wolfson?
Tracy Wolfson, actually, you think I'm joking here. Tracy Wolfson is pissed that she's not at the top of the list. And I love Tracy Wolfson in real life.
Yeah, she's good.
I adore her, okay?
She's very good.
So it goes right now Taylor Rooks, George Sedano, Lisa Salters thereafter, Pam Oliver's still my girl, then Tracy Wolfson.
Right, so top 5.
And, Mike, you will climb back up, but it's the offseason right now, so I have to, I got to put you on the bench.
What you're saying is Lisa can now vault back to number 1 because she's going to be doing all these big games here moving forward.
She will absolutely have an opportunity to vault right back to the top of the sideline reporter.
Yeah.
Well,
unless somehow I
rankings.
vault her on the radio broadcast side in some way.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, if you give me another good report like you did last Friday night about winning in between the games, maybe.
Well, look, what I'll say about George is that he's also doing play-by-play, and he's also doing a daily sports talk radio show that he happens to carry with you. So
Carries.
You know what I'm saying?
Carrie's
so, like,
back must be killing him.
That's and then to still be able to do this.
And I hosted NBA today.
And
Don't forget about that.
And so he hosts. So I'm just
He's
saying.
got
those are,
within the course of 48 hours, he's got sidelines for a game, a show like a talk show. He's got NBA Today and sometimes Horn.
well,
Horn unfortunately going away after next week.
But still, there's plenty of time.
My last show on Monday.
Dinner. This is why he was buying dinner the other night.
Yeah, and so
Why?
look, and I,
Is it Horn?
No, because the guy who makes the most money at the table buys.
Oh.
That's
Hey,
like
real quick, Mike, before you say something, I just want to let people know it's a live Nation Ticket Thursday here on 710 ESPN. Caller number 7 right now at 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776, wins 2 tickets to The Who live at the Hollywood Bowl on September 17th. So call now for your chance to win, or you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I was just conclude. I was singing your praises, and so that all of those other very talented silent reporters, don't also do all of the other things that George does. So I'm just wondering for Cappy if that where you weigh that in.
No.
None of that gets weighed in.
Just
because
strictly for sideline.
It's just sideline reporters,
Okay.
and it's sideline reports. So on Friday night of last week, Oklahoma City, Denver, when George actually gave up that report that, hey, Jonesy, I think it was Mark Jones. He said Jonesy.
And Jay Billis, yeah.
Right?
Jones. He
Jonesy.
likes to call him
Right?
Jonesy.
Jalen Williams told us that
Jalen Williams.
the mindset for the young OKC Thunder is, despite whether they win or they lose, it's about winning the days in between, to which their head coach Mark Daignault added that it's about making sure, regardless of the result, that highs and lows don't matter, and that you need to get to a neutral state of mind to then be able to refocus onto the new task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Jonesy, back to you.
Right, and then Jonesy, back to you. And then at that moment in time, Mike, at that exact moment in time, I said, you know what? George has just catapulted.
Well, you did send me a text that you said after the game. You said you crushed it today.
Yeah, you did crush it.
Good. Well, last thing, to close the show where we opened, Annie just texted me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and what I told her was, and I just kind of suggested, after the incident that followed the whole thing about you, requesting to follow her, after you mentioning our dog in the way that you did, she needs a little more time to think about it.
Okay,
so we'll
fair
have to settle
enough.
this
Cappy,
next week.
real quick, give us a 40-second dealer's choice.
Dealer's Choice, Real Deal, brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Call them 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer, or visit sellersadvantage.com. They make selling easy. I'm gonna end it like this, George. DeAndre, you got to go to this Dodger game. And DeAndre, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
What's that?
I want one of those Ohtani bobbleheads. Doesn't have to be from you or your girl. Just find a way to get a third one.
I'll try my best, Cap.
Big ass, Cap.
Easier
Big
said
ass
than done,
Cap.
bro.
All right, we're done here. Michael,
count on
thank
it.
you for hanging out with us. I
Sorry,
apologize
Mike.
for Cappy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thank
Mike.
you, George, Cappy.
Sorry, Mike.
Not the best day.
Sorry, Mike.
DeAndre, Lindsay, the guys in the back,
I'm
the
sure I'll
COT,
get a text about it.
Shout out, Annie.
Christopher, everyone, have a great night.